I'm a depressio. I'm alone.
Have you got any form of tinnitus?
I don't have tinnitus actually. I've been quite good and like protected my ears from quite early on. I got molded earplugs about like
cool.
10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So I've worn them a lot while I've DJed. So I've really looked after my ears.
You've done well then.
But my focus just goes to music. If I hear music in the background somewhere, I find it like if it's loud as well, like overbearing, I find it really hard to like focus on a conversation.
Yeah.
And people think it's incredibly rude. And it is really, but it's just because I suppose like my ear's been trained to, or like I've trained my ear to like always listen for the music.
If you spent your entire life in venues,
it's weird.
that's it, isn't it? You
It's-
know what I mean? That's your default mode. That is your version of listening.
It's weird. It is a bit weird, and people are like, "That's not a thing. That's really not a thing." I'm like, I can't explain it. It just happens to my. It just happens to my attention, my focus, everything. Just
I think
goes.
it is a thing.
You think it is a thing?
For sure.
Have you Googled it?
I'm too scared to Google it because it might just be called like ignorant bastard syndrome or something. I don't know. I'm assuming you're running.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
cool.
is what we like to do.
Yeah,
so
like-
you
I like it.
you know, a little cold open. Finally,
Yes.
we've got you here.
All right.
Finally,
Thanks for having me, mate.
mate. Thanks for coming on. We've got Yarni here, everybody. If you're watching, you know how handsome he is. If you're listening, let me tell you, very fresh looking, like lovely little sock shoe combo.
Smells nice as well.
He does smell really nice when he walk. Yeah,
I just had a shower, to be fair. I live round corner. So,
Did you? Okay. Well, yeah. No, very, very, very fresh, very floral. You know, beautiful. It's nice. Sometimes the guests that come in here, they really stink.
Stinky guests.
Like last
I'm
week's
guessing
guest,
you're
Andy
not going
H.
to. I'm about to say you're going to name anybody.
Andy H. Oh, he
Hunks
came in.
of
and I went,
cabbage
oh
or
my
something.
God, cabbage. Yeah.
Poor lad.
Not here this week, Andy. So can't defend himself. He's on holiday.
Not that you would anyway.
No, not that he would anyway. Hog tied in the corner. Hi, Andy. Hope you're enjoying your holiday. But mate, exciting day for you today.
Yes, every day's an exciting day.
Well, what happened today though?
Oh yeah, with the radio.
Yeah, because you literally messaged me about it earlier, so I was like, I'll let you talk about that.
Yeah, so I've got a new single coming out next month, and Craig Charles gave it the world premiere, let's call it, today on Six Music.
Buzzing,
Which
man.
is good. Yeah.
What's the track called?
It's called Swoke, Sealed with a Loving Kiss.
Like that, okay.
Yeah.
And
it's,
is it a collaboration track? Because your new album coming up, you've got a lot of collabs on it, right?
So basically the album's 10 tracks, 10 different artists, singers, musicians.
Yeah.
This one features someone called Scarlett Faye. She's
Okay.
based in Brighton. I think she's from Derby originally, but
Nice.
she's worth checking out. She's got she started doing her own solo stuff, but she does session stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So she's all over the album doing backing vocals as well as that track.
Cool.
She's
Amazing.
got, an incredible voice, beautiful.
So I'm gonna try and loosely introduce what you do to everybody that doesn't know who you are, because some of our listeners just tune
Yeah, of
in
course.
and listen for whoever we've got on basically. But you multi-instrumentalist, is it fair to say?
Yeah.
Producer,
Yeah.
engineer,
Engineer.
former indie bandsman.
Yes, the
Yeah.
field as tattooed on the wrist.
The Field. Any of that music still available, or has it been the back
Well,
catalogue?
it's something like
erased?
the 20th anniversary of our first release, so we were on about doing a gig this year.
That'd be sick.
But it's just time's just gonna catch up. I've got this album
Yeah.
coming, so it's consuming all my energy.
You're busy.
Yeah,
Any of the other lads from the band still making music, or was it sort of you that went along?
yeah. So basically, the only person that involved creatively is Alex, the guitarist. He's my designer, so
Amazing.
everything visual you see of mine,
Yeah.
he's head of aesthetics.
Okay. That's nice.
Yeah, so it's and the lead singer Adam, he does a little bit of copywriting because I didn't listen at school.
Nice.
So I'll just
All
send
right.
him stuff saying, "Does that make sense?" And he'll go, "No, that's terrible."
So you're still friends as well, it's
Oh,
sort
yes,
of an amicable
literally,
thing.
yeah,
So
yeah.
was that? Let's go back, I guess, sort of to your roots. Was that sort of
Yes.
your beginning into music? Like you started playing
Drums, yeah.
drum. You were drums.
yeah.
I get so confused because I see you play guitar
Yeah.
and stuff on videos, and I'm like, you play guitar, drums. But you can tell. I was going to say, I was going to ask you before we started recording, but I'll just ask you on here. But I was listening to your albums on the way over, just to refresh my memory on some of the stuff, and you can tell that you're very percussive. Like
Yes.
your folk, you've got such a detailed percussion line
Yeah, I mean,
on the music. It's beautiful.
Yeah, most of the instruments I play, I had some drum lessons at school, but
Yeah.
quickly just couldn't be bothered with that because it was like reading drum notes, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'd rather emulate like the Stone Roses or Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, the stuff that's kind of exciting, right?
Yeah. So, and I'm a bit of I get told off for using this terminology, autodidact, which means like teach yourself stuff.
Yes.
A bit like Dave. Dave's that kind of way where he'll just
He
go,
is.
he'll find his own way around stuff rather than be told.
Yes.
I'm like that, which is good and bad. So yeah, I've never had any lessons. I've just everything's by ear, and so then every musical instrument, i.e., not percussive stuff, I still kind of play it percussively.
Yes.
It's rhythmical.
Yeah, that comes across in your music.
Yeah.
So when how old were you guys when you started the field? Was that like you were at school together? You wanted to be in a band?
Yeah, literally. So we were, honestly, I think we were about 14.
Yeah.
The rest of the band had guitar or piano lessons,
Mm-hmm.
and they just naturally needed a drummer. And I went, well, I'll have a go at that.
Just I'll have a go.
Yeah.
Give it a go.
And
Were you playing
four-piece.
drums at this point, or was it like you decided to do that?
No,
because-
they. I just saw like a bit of an opportunity. Just like naturally arrived. Like there were a window where like, well, it seems too obvious for me to have
Yeah.
a go at drumming. So,
And were you all friends already, kind of thing?
Yeah,
You were-
yeah.
you
We
were-
went to different primary schools, and we all met at the same secondary school.
And this is in Sheffield.
Yeah, the city school.
Nice. Okay, so City School in Sheffield.
Yeah.
And then so you guys started rehearsing, playing tunes.
Yep.
And then did drums feel like a natural instrument for you to start playing, or were you ever sort of like, oh, I wish I was a guitarist, or I wish I'd played marimba?
Well, to be fair, I quickly ended up with a guitar anyway because I
Yeah.
saw them being able to play like and sing along with like Oasis songs, and thought
Yeah.
drumming along's cool, but like being able to like play. I don't know. There's just something else about playing like I said, musical instrument, because I like split it into two, like percussive
Yeah.
and then musical.
Yeah. It's the note. I guess you get the notes, don't you, on
Yeah.
guitar? Like you get the melodies and all that sort of stuff, and that's the stuff that kind of speaks to your soul a bit, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah,
But drums, like your tracks are really driving.
yes,
I listened to the 2022 album. You can forgive me on the pronunciation. Is it Pigna?
it's Pina,
Pina.
pine
Sorry.
cone in Italian.
Like yeah. Okay, Pina. I did know this because I listened to your other podcast that you did with Jack, True Fiction. Shout out to
Shout out.
Thou What 0114. And I knew that I was going to get that wrong, so thanks for correcting me. But I listened to that on the way over, and then your album the year after.
Yes,
Remind me of the name.
parenthesis.
Parenthesis. Thank you.
Yeah,
That's a lot more kind of dancey.
yeah,
So you had like it was quite world music, the Pina,
yes,
and then more dancey, but both very percussive.
yeah. That's basically that's because the foundation of everything I do generally starts with the drums.
Yeah.
So then everything builds out from there. That normally dictates the direction of a track.
And do you record like a lot of live drums?
I do. Yeah. So basically, that's that album that you were saying, parenthesis.
Yeah.
That's the album where I realised I made a bit of a mistake because I'd got a bit of traction. I did a Japanese concept album that were like jazzy and also electronic that were called Borrow.
Okay.
I picked up quite a few decent fans through that.
Yeah.
I got a bit of traction. Then I did the Pina album,
Yeah.
which was like a continuation that evolved into like I think it was a 9-piece ensemble, but we'd never met.
Yeah.
I just recorded everybody remotely and mixed it myself. And then I made the mistake of being too arrogant going, I look at people like Andrew Weatherall,
Mm-hmm.
and he used to just, if he started to be pigeonholed, he'd say, I'm not doing that. I'm going
Just
to go and do
do something
rockabilly,
different,
because he could have
Yeah.
been the biggest DJ in the world. He went, I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
So I've got this weird, like, I've looked at that as like a blueprint, but what I've realised is, or I realise now is, I didn't have the profile of him to be able to go, I'm going to do something else. So I alienated quite a few people by doing a purely electronic album.
Okay.
So like that's a mistake for me. But I think the beauty of being a solo artist is when you're in a band, you get the pressure, don't you? Like, look at Alex Turner now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
God.
obviously, we just want to hear a Mardy Bum and all that. And he's evolved as a human.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you're in a band, that's difficult because obviously those around you have either got to follow you, or if you don't naturally evolve together, that's where the friction starts. Whereas when you're a solo artist, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And if the people that were around you at that point aren't aligned, then you just go, well, that's that, and move on. So
I think it's interesting that you recognise that you alienated some fan base. Were you told that you alienated them, or were you just, did you sort of go, actually, like on reflection after the album's come out, I know that that's not kind of what you were expecting?
Yeah, I think what it is having such a wildly eclectic taste in music is great for sculpting sounds. But if you don't have that continuation throughout, I've got like a decent solid core of fans that like support everything I do and they love it. But I need to scale that up. So what I realised is I put that out and nobody's wrote to me and said, what's that all about? But I just know if you were like listening front to back my back catalogue, you'd just be like, this is a bit of a curveball.
When I was so that's the first time I ever listened through to that album because I think I listened to Pina maybe a year or two ago. I think actually shout out to Austin, Rev Austin recommended me your music a little while ago. And I really enjoyed that. But they are wildly different, but I enjoyed both. And I was like, it's a brave step to go sort of more dancey, and I find it interesting. So I've got a friend who produces music similarly. His name's Frameworks. I don't know if you know of his stuff.
No.
I'll have to link you with him because you guys had a great time. But I want to go back again. So you were in the field. You guys were writing music. Sort of, you were in an indie band.
Yeah, literally
fair to
standard,
say.
straight up 4-piece indie band.
And when did that sort of just come to a natural conclusion?
So basically, this year's 10 years of Yarni. So I've wrote a book documenting like my journey as a musician and a creative person, and it's been great because I've like looked back and seen my journey. I've got loads of photos and stuff, and I think I was saying to Russ, the bassist, yesterday, the thing, we were a 4-piece, and I always had, and I still have, this inner determination to create music. And when we got to about 17, 18 and people started getting girlfriends, etc., priorities changed, but mine were always
Music,
focused music. It was like, this is my thing. This is going to be my mark on the world. Not bothered about children. This is my baby. So hence why I'm the only person out of the 4 of us that persevered and getting stuff like Craig Charles playing my music, that's my achievement.
Can you sort of postmark a moment in your life when you realised that was it? Was it when you sort of first played live with The Field or something, you went, you know what, this is it? Or was it before that? Or
I remember talking about Oasis. I skipped the last day of Y10 at school to watch Oasis at Finsbury Park in 2002.
Yeah.
And I remember I just started drum lessons, and I remember just taking notes of Alan White, the drummer of Oasis, like obsessively, like, what's he doing there? How does he hold his sticks? What cymbals has he got? And
wow.
I think the turning point were going and seeing someone like Oasis. They were past the best then, but obviously I weren't old enough to have experienced it, like mid-90s. I think that were the big point where I was like, this is amazing, I want to be on
this
that.
is it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then musically, stuff that shaped my sound. I remember watching Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels.
Brilliant film.
And the soundtrack to that has basically sculpted my entire direction as a music lover. Because if you listen back to it, it's got every kind of genre, and it's just sent me down all sorts of rabbit holes.
It's really well curated, that soundtrack, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know the soundtrack, Dave?
Name some songs, because I haven't watched Lock, Stock in absolutely ages. I remember more Snatch, to be honest.
Yeah. What's the?
I'll have to listen to it on the
one
way.
that I love is Stooges, right?
Yeah,
Wanna Be Your
I
Dog.
Wanna
That's
Be
on
Your
there.
Dog, yeah.
So you
How's
got
that
sort
go?
of, now I wanna
Be your dog.
That's it.
Yeah.
Come on.
There's
Iggy at his best. That
and to be like I say, it's got dub reggae, because there's obviously a lot of like
Police and
marijuana
Thieves.
scenes. Yeah, there
Is
you
it?
go.
Yeah.
Junior Mervyn.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think what else is on there off the top of my head.
There's like
the
James Brown.
The Big Payback, James
Yeah,
Brown.
there you go,
Yeah. Great.
That's
Really
what I mean.
great soundtrack.
And for me, so like my entry point into. Dave was just talking to me before we started about like reverse engineering and how he arrives at things doing it the other way around.
Yeah.
That's me with like. So I'd hear these records, then you hear all these obviously hip hop tracks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like the Low End Theory. I sit now and I still listen to that now and go, oh, because now I'm into a bit of jazz funk and that. You like hear a sample,
Yeah.
you like. So it's like going full circle. So it's like a mad journey. That I discovered this in something like 1998. Then years later, you go. My entry point into jazz music were actually via hip hop records, and it's like I just love that like full circle, and it never ends. You know what I mean? I just love it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That endless discovery.
Mate, absolutely. I totally agree with that. I've got a question for you later on, but
Yeah.
I might as well throw it in here because it kind of fits. I was going to say, can you name like a couple of tracks that have basically been ones that you've gone, oh, that's a life changer for me. The first time you heard like.
I'd say
From any genre, like even if it's old and you heard it like years after it was made.
I'd say Weak Become Heroes by the Streets.
Yeah.
Because it's like I loved the Streets when they did the first 2 tours.
Yeah.
It's like that when I first started. I remember going down to London on the train, and Weak Become Heroes just seems to be like a soundtrack to just staring out of the window and like the overground, and just looking at London, and
It fits
just
perfectly,
like that
right?
kind of like almost giving me goosebumps now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
Weak
is a
Become
bit of a
Heroes.
soundtrack to a city, isn't it? Yeah, I do get that.
Yeah, that and like a big ever present for me is the Stone Roses, and obviously Ian Brown's a bit tin hatty and a bit controversial these days.
The music's
but
the music, I guess.
I do have the ability to like. I was listening to Ricky Gervais talking to Noel Gallagher about what's he called, pedo bloke.
Which one?
Gary
so
Glitter.
many
There's
now.
so
I know.
many. Gary Glitter. Yeah,
Sorry
yeah,
about talking
yeah.
about paedophiles. But they were talking about Noel could say Gary Glitter wrote some amazing songs and he could split, same as Ricky Gervais was saying,
Yeah.
I can split them off and go,
Yeah.
right, I can appreciate that somehow and just somehow detach from that. I know it's like morally, it's a strange position, but I still appreciate the music.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? When the music, you know, there's loads of people that make the joke. Is it Andrew Schultz that makes the joke? Like, how good do you have to be before you can just go, oh yeah, you know, he's a pedo, but the music, and he says it's like Michael Jackson's like the cut off.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's it. Yeah,
If he is
say that.
if he is a paedophile, then you know, but the music's so good, you kind of go, oh,
Dilemma.
yeah, it's a bit of a dilemma.
You're allowed to say like that man's an arsehole, but my God, did he make some
Yeah, oh mate,
incredible music?
Yeah,
of course,
It's
you
both
are.
can be true.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
not like them and also admit
yeah,
great
yeah.
music.
Like morally, they could be in the toilet, but they could be like in the toilet playing the lute, and the lute playing could be the most beautiful thing you've ever heard.
Yeah.
You're like, you are in the toilet playing
Yeah.
that. You are playing that lute, man.
Yeah. Oh, but my God, you're playing it. I can't stick around for too long.
I can't stick around
Ah.
because it stinks in here. But
My God.
that lute. Oh,
Why a lute? You chose a lute out of
I know,
everything.
yeah.
I don't know. There's so many instruments.
So many instruments you could
My
have
head's in the
chosen.
world music sphere, but apparently my heart's in medieval times. I don't know.
Mate, I listen to sometimes lute covers of like.
No, you don't. No,
I do. There's medieval covers. There's a whole. If you want to go down a rabbit hole, there's a medieval covers of like classic bangers and just fucking house music and things like that. There's somebody out there makes them, man.
Right,
really
it's only
good.
a matter of time. Can we have the rights, please, to the medieval lute covers of your albums?
Absolutely,
We'll
no
make them
problem.
in conjunction with you, obviously.
love it.
Sign them off, get them out. Medieval lute covers of
There's
Yarni.
also, I don't know if you've been down the slow and reverbed rabbit hole, but
Slowed and
there's-
reverbed.
I am thoroughly in the camp of there's a whole world, right? If you don't know slow and reverb, basically the rule is if there is a song, there is a version of it that's been slowed down and just added reverb to it.
Sorted.
And
Easy.
it
Gary
actually-
Glitter?
I'll bet you if we went on YouTube, there'll be a slowed reverb version.
His
of
entire
the song.
back catalogue's been slowed and reverbed, has
Yeah.
it?
And honestly, mate, sounds great. Every slow and reverb song. One of the best slow and reverb. You ever seen Succession?
No.
There's an
I
amazing
haven't,
piano,
sorry.
like da-da. But anyway, the theme to Succession, slow and reverbed.
Lovely.
Anything that's slow and reverb, mate, just go down that rabbit hole tonight on YouTube. But remember what I say, just go, hi, I wonder what that song would sound like slow and reverb. Literally go to YouTube, find it. And I bet you'd be like, oh, that's fucking good.
And now
actually.
you're going to need to release all your music slowed in reverb.
To be fair,
Just an album.
I put out a 7-inch record last year, just a single A and B side, and I played it on 33, and it sounded amazing. So I just recorded that and released that on Spotify. It's just a 33 RPM version.
That's amazing.
Just sounded like some kind of like, I don't really know. Like I remember about 15 years ago, it was kind of cool to just have these weird like pitch down.
Sometimes it's a
garage
happy
kind of
accident,
vibes.
isn't it? Yeah.
Hey, me and Softy at the weekends making music and just grabbing the keys and just taking them a semitone down just gave it a full
That's
different
it,
like
innit?
feel.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like, okay, cool, nice.
I am. Sorry, I wanted to ask you something specific, and it's just
I've
completely gone out.
derailed you, mate. With
You've
slow
you've
reverb,
derailed me,
yeah.
but you've slowed and reverbed me. But it's fine. I wanted to go to the point where you started making music on your own. So
Yes.
like the end of the field, difficult.
No, because we evolved into we were in the field. We did some amazing gigs at places like Leadmill. We did some amazing gigs.
Yeah.
And then new rave. Can you remember that little
Yeah,
period?
I can.
Claxons and that. So I were always the odd one out in the band because they're like indie kids generally.
Yeah.
Like bassist Russ is like Side Chops, Fred Perry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Scooter.
Yeah.
He ain't got a scooter, but he looks like he should have a scooter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do.
And I like Chemical Brothers, me, because they work with Noel Gallagher, but they've got like banging techno in background or
Yeah.
whatever. So I were always like, why don't we dabble in that? Claxons came along and that kind of Errol Alcan vibes,
Yeah.
and it were like perfect for me. But
Would you put one of those tracks in as like a track that kind of changed everything for you as well?
more of the indie kids. So you remember like
When indie kids discovered dance music.
yeah, again, the second wave of like Hacienda, innit, where everybody like
Yeah.
indie kids start, you know what I mean, like baggy and rave.
It's LCD Sound System.
Yeah.
That whole there's a great book. I think it's called Meet Me in the Bathroom.
Bathroom,
Meet Me in the
yeah.
Bathroom. Yeah, you read it, yeah.
I've not read it. I listened to a podcast with the author the other day.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's so
yeah,
good,
that's a perfect era. So basically, I never really liked Strokes,
yeah.
but LCD Sound System for me were like, it's perfect, this, because
Yeah.
it's like disco. Like, you know what I mean? Like Talking Heads rock. Not really a vocal, lyric-y kind of person, mate. It's all about the groove, as you've already highlighted.
There's a great kind of there's a great moment in that book or whatever. I think there's a documentary about it and everything now where they're talking to James from LCD Sound System and he just did not get dance music at all. He just didn't get it.
Yeah.
And then someone gave him a pill and he went to a party and he went, "This is it.
So
This
that were his Eureka
this
moment.
is it."
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then from that point onwards, like DFA and just all the output from that studio in
The
New
Rapture.
York. The Rapture, man.
Yes,
Oh
man.
my
House
god.
of Jealous Lovers.
House of Jealous Lovers. And what's that other one? The Kids Don't Dance No More. They just move around like this. Oh my god, that tune is just chaos. It's so good.
Yeah.
When the indie kids started dancing, in fact, Andy spoke about it on the podcast last week,
Yeah.
or maybe just slightly off. He said it was so strange when I was profiling indie kids, being like, "You should like indie music," but
That's
you
it.
liked electro.
Yeah, I
What
was
the
listening to
hell?
it last week's. Yeah, it's same. Like my auntie always says, she's always gone to Bramall Lane, which is behind us. She's had season tickets for like 40 years.
Yeah.
And she went to uni over
Poor
near
lass.
Manchester, I know. And she says she noticed when Ecstasy came in because
Yeah.
clubs used to be like people throwing pint pots at each other.
Yeah.
And then she used to go to Hacienda and everybody were on pills and everybody's hugging each other. So all
Yeah.
these football hooligans had that were the turning point. So all
Yeah.
these indie kids, like we talk about like your Shawn Ryders and like the Stone Roses again, I think that were the next wave, weren't it, where indie kids started dancing again.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether, I've never really taken drugs, but I don't know whether the indie kids were into
I think there's
ecstasy.
I think there's a thing where you can just kind of like you can get a vibe. You don't
Yeah.
have to be like if you like music.
Yeah.
Sometimes I didn't take like ecstasy when I was like 11, 12 and I started getting into like trancey, dancey, sort of housey stuff. Like there was an energy to it and like a weirdness to it and a futureness to it that attracted me to it. It was the sonics of the sound. It was like a magnet kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was I saw this great clip. It was like an archive clip of like police just outside a rave in London in like 1988 or whatever, 89. And it was like 7 a.m. and there was just loads of ravers just in the street, like dancing, like being completely compliant, not doing anything naughty. But the police were just like, what the fuck is going on? We have no idea what is going on. These kids are just being nice and they're dancing and they're not smashing us around the heads. Like, what the hell is going on?
They literally didn't know
And they
what
had
to do.
no idea.
Yeah,
They had no idea. And everyone's eyes are just like, whoa! It's crazy, but a beautiful thing. So that's like 2007 in the timeline.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so
Yeah.
like obviously you've mentioned Tom Weatherall a few times on here.
Have
Who's like a
friend of the pod,
yeah.
first Patreon or second Patreon, sorry, yeah.
There you go. He's been ever present in my entire musical journey.
Yeah,
So he's supported everything I've done. So around that time, you know Danny Bake, don't you?
I do, yeah.
So
Love Danny.
we dissolved the field, came up with a story that we'd had to sell the name,
Okay.
and we were being managed by a guy who runs the Frog and Parrot. So he fashioned together some bit of press and Star wrote about it.
Nicely done.
And transitioned into a band called Think, Dance, Repeat. And Danny Bake did the logo for it.
Very cool.
And he was the 5th member of the band, and he used to just play a little sampler off back at stage, just triggering little samples. We went a bit dancey.
Yeah.
And that was the start of me pushing. Like I say, I've always been into electronic music. I was like, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? And obviously
Yeah.
it just drove a wedge between everyone, and that was the natural end where it just
Yeah.
evolved into me persevering. We didn't really fall out. It was just a natural evolution. You know what I mean?
I want to do this. You guys
Yeah.
want to do that.
Yeah.
It's not working anymore. But
Yes.
that's so. Think, Dance, Repeat is the next venture.
Yeah.
And how long is that going for?
Oh, not very long. About
Yeah.
a year. And then we ended up in a band called Tudors.
Okay.
And that didn't last very long because that sounded like McFly.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
You can listen to that somewhere.
Excellent.
And then we had a music studio rehearsal room where back of Old Niche.
Yeah.
So there's
Which is on Sydney Street.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Mate. So there's a tea room in the little courtyard, Birdhouse Tea, it's called.
Right.
That was our old rehearsal room, which blows my mind because it's like this beautiful glass-fronted
Yeah.
thing, and there's
Yeah.
so much stuff that went on in there. Jesus Christ!
And people sat in there drinking their tea. They just say, you're like, if you knew.
I can't go there because it's just weird to like look at it like in this beautiful setting. Because obviously it's one of those where you used to like wipe your feet on way out because it was disgusting. You know what I mean? And it's band rehearsal rooms. You know.
You've seen probably a lot of the gentrification of Sheffield in your
Yeah.
years of practice rooms and stuff being turned into.
We did used to
little
rehearse
tea
down
rooms.
at Kellam Island at Red. What do they call it? Red. Something Lion. I remember before we could drive, we went old enough. His mate's dad come to pick us up, and a prostitute got back in his car. Thought we were waiting for a prostitute. We were just turning it with his drumsticks and stuff.
Brilliant. Oh my God. As he
Yes.
explained that to his mum when he gets out. Honestly, I was
I
just
know,
picking up the
yeah.
lads for band
Yeah,
practice.
yeah,
Honestly. I didn't know. Get the vanish. Yeah. Oh, that's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
I forget how spicy Kellam Island used to be.
Yeah.
I remember. So when I first moved to Sheffield, I'll tell you a very, very quick story before we get back to your timeline. I was a bit of a loser, and still am. And I love real ale, right?
Yeah,
So
okay.
I joined Camera
Yes.
as a student member because you could do it for like £2 or something because they were desperate for young people that drank real ale to join.
Yeah.
And in Sheffield, you obviously spoiled with loads of great breweries. But at the time when I moved it was like Aberdale Brewery were doing stuff, Thornbridge were doing stuff, and like Sheffield Brewery Co. And
Yep.
it used to be a guy called Eddie who was the landlord of a pub called the Gardener's Rest.
Yeah.
Since retired. Great guy, and somebody else, I forget his name, but they were like, oh, there's a Sheffield Camera meeting at the Sheffield Brewery Company, and it's in Kellam Island. But it was at this kind of like, it was a numbered address, and it was before the days of Uber or Google Maps or like really anything. So I was like, right, I'll get a taxi, I'll order a taxi, go to Kellam Island, give him the address, be like, this is where I want to go.
Yep.
Take me there, please. And I got in the taxi and it was like, Kellam Island, please, sir. And he was just turned around, like looked at me and was like, what are you doing down there? I'm completely innocent. I know nothing about sex workers down Kellam Island. I'm just like going and wandering about my business. And they dropped me off at this industrial kind of estate where I was like, where the hell am I? And I was like miles from it. He was like, I think it's around here, mate. Good luck. And I was just like,
Yeah.
they just drove off, and I was like, oh shit! It was like really dark. I had like an old brick of a phone. I had no idea where I was. And then I just saw this wizened old man with a beard talking about like half pints or something. I was like, oh, it's in there. And it was like this locked gate, which with no sign on it whatsoever, but made it in and ended up getting really drunk with loads of old men and having to stagger my way home through Kelham Island, which is pretty dicey back then.
Yeah.
So yeah, a different time, different era.
About to say times have changed a lot now. Those kind of guys don't really like the gentrification, obviously, because it's their little.
Yeah, that was where they used to go, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Their little hovel, their little.
I can't drink craft beer; it gives me like a migraine.
Well, these are like hand pulled casky.
Yeah, proper.
Yeah, like rough, flat.
I just can't
flat
drink
pints.
Yeah, God, warm.
Yeah.
Even if it comes out at freezer, it's still warm.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, these are real pints. Real stinky farts the next day kind of pints.
Tremendous.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, you move into solo producing.
Yes, we're DJing really. Me and Danny Beck used to do
Great.
bits around town. Obviously, we're far more talented at DJing than me. Obviously went off and did his thing. Yeah, so basically my entry point were into
Danny now. Sorry, just interjecting. Danny now DJing out in Ibiza. He sort of DJs. He's one of the resident DJs at Pikes, which is, I guess, ultimate dream play out there.
And
Great.
he gets better looky every time I see a photo of him as well.
Yeah,
You know
his
what I mean?
looks really
Beautiful,
sort of
isn't
go with the times. He's had many looks over the years, but he just pulls them all off.
Yeah, he does.
Talented, handsome bastard. Shout out to Danny. Lots of love to Danny. Great
Always.
guy. So you two DJing together, DJ duo or just
odd bits, yeah. I think he bought some CDJs, and we like just jam around, and then we just did a few gigs. Then obviously, like I say, we're the fifth member of the band, so we're just all like thick as thieves at that time. It were around the, like I say, Errol Alcan kind of days.
Yeah, so Errol Alcan as well, for people that don't know, sort of mixing different genres of stuff together in a really interesting kind of way.
Yeah,
I can't remember what his night's called in London. It's just gone out my head.
No, not Bugged Out. That's thingy, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
you'll be able to find the information if you look it up. But Errol Alcan, great DJ, great producer as well. Does some really nice edits and remixes of stuff. So that inspired by that. And then when does like solo production come into it? Are you producing under the name before Yarni or?
Yeah, so I was DJing as Musk Man Benji.
Nice, yeah.
Um,
I recognise that name.
I DJ'd it. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't know why we've never crossed paths, because I DJ'd it Bigger Than Barry, and Tom Weatherall put me on at all sorts of stuff. Like I remember warming up for Wiley and Lethal Bizzle, because I did a bit of a grime for a while.
Yeah.
At Plug with Elijah and Skilliam, you know the guy.
I think I went to that gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, so my DJ days in Sheffield probably started a bit later, maybe like 2010, 2011.
Okay.
I was in a DJ competition at Soyo called Soyo Think You Can DJ, which Danny Beck won.
Clever,
got an
obviously.
Xbox. I'm still bitter about it, but he was the better man on the night. And then I started DJing around bars probably 2011, start of 2011.
Bars,
Yeah, so I was doing more bars, and then I didn't do my first threads until 2012. I wasn't playing the Harley and threads and stuff like that till 2012. I wasn't doing big clubs till 2013.
Yep.
And even then I was pretty unprepared. So I think you were probably a few years ahead of that.
Yeah, I reckon so. And I went on a bit of a journey at that point, because obviously growing up in Sheffield, I've been to like so I've got like, I had two clear different sets of mates, indie kids who still got at Corp.
Yes, yeah.
And then my mates who like to have a bit of a dance and a rave.
Yeah.
So we'd go to like a mixture. There used to be nights called Secret Sessions.
Right.
Richard Williams just put them on. It were like tokens for drinks, you know, them kind of vibes. But like,
Was that a club shush?
it moved around. It was
Yeah.
a different venue every time. It once at a curry house. I DJ'd at a curry house for
Amazing. Love
on
that.
London Road.
That's great.
And Cabal.
Are they still serving curry while you DJ?
No, they'd like cleared it out.
Oh, right.
But it were like I said, tokens, you know, where because they didn't have a license. and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that, like
yeah.
warm cans of Red Stripe.
Here's some Monopoly money. Yeah.
Cabal.
Yes.
So basically, around that time, Errol Alcan, new rave, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
that were quite formative for me because it was like, well, I've always liked dance music, and now there's all these indie kids.
Yeah.
So it's great because it's like I say, they talk about James Murphy, where his epiphanal moment, where
Yes,
taking
yeah.
ecstasy tablet.
Yeah.
For me, it was just like, well, I found it again. There's a new wave of it. You
It's
know what I mean?
possible. It's possible.
Yeah.
It can be done. Too many DJs for me. Radio,
Yeah.
Radio Soul Wax. They were also doing the,
Yeah.
It was a similar kind of thing. They were mixing like David Bowie and like techno tunes and
there you
stuff
go,
like that
mate.
all together.
That's like bigger than Barry though. Like
Yeah.
I remember there was a DJ duo. I think they were Welsh. They used to mix some crazy stuff like
Yeah.
acapellas or like indie tracks with like. Anyway, yeah. So all of this just feeds
Beautiful.
into it. Like I said, Cabal, massive for me because obviously the Jamaican sound. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I like all of my output. All I've done is cherry picked everything that I've been to. No matter what it is, even if
Yeah.
it's a thrash metal now, I can still extract something from it.
There's good percussion in thrash metal,
Yeah,
right?
there you go. Yeah, Cabal, and then there were Bar Matrix. Did you ever go to Bar Matrix?
No, I don't know if I was aware of it.
Yeah, it's
That's the
where like
thing.
Roxy Ballroom is now.
Right.
Ran by, I've got a funny story here. So they
Okay,
ran by
let's go.
Paul and Dan Metcalf, Paul Metcalf, you come across him?
I know.
DJ?
Yeah, I know those guys.
Yeah, he's a great DJ, Paul, like disco, house kind of vibes. They ran it, and it was like a place where on a Saturday night, you'd go in and you'd get the football lads, Wednesday and United, but it'd be the only place where everybody just went because it were like good music. So there'd be no like fighting, nobody throwing stuff across the room.
People respected the venue,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
For me, it were like they played like nice house music, vocal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say head candy, but the good side of head candy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
soulful
house,
house with like percussive grooves.
Yeah. So again, that
Yeah.
just fed into my sense of nice. Like it's basically when disco music just transitioned. Obviously, you can hear a lot of disco in head candy kind of vibes. Can't you?
Yeah.
For me,
absolutely.
that's where I sit most comfortably because it's like melodic, soulful.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I'm saying is the venue, they used to do band nights. We used to play there on Tuesdays,
Right.
and it were ran by an ice cream man
Okay.
who were a raging alcoholic. And
Right.
he thought if we put the bands on later, then more people will come. So it'd say, oh, you're on at 8:30. And then I remember going on at like 2 in the morning because he was steaming blind drunk. We're just like,
Has he got his ice
wag
cream
it.
van outside selling?
Nobody'd be
99s?
straight in it next day. He managed my mate's band called Vegas Child.
Right.
But yeah, just like these crazy characters, like he's an ice cream man, running nights. He thinks it's a good idea to put bands on at 2 a.m. on
Yeah.
a Tuesday when everybody's just like, you'd get your mates down on a Tuesday
Yeah.
and you'd be like, what time you on? 8:30. All right, we'll get there for 8.
Yeah.
And 5-6 hours later, they're still there. Like, I'm going home now, mate.
One thing I'll say is that working in this kind of industry, like live music and like DJ stuff, I think before I got into it, I was like, had this sort of twinkly vision of like all the people that I would meet and like how how deep their connections would run. And like,
Yeah.
you do meet those people,
Yeah,
you do
yeah,
meet
yeah.
like incredibly well connected people. It's never, those people are never usually in my experience, the most vocal about how connected they are. It's
Yeah.
always the people that always say they know everyone usually know nobody, and they're an alcoholic ice cream van
Yeah,
driver.
yeah.
like, but they give it this like loud, hey, yeah, come on. And then sometimes, annoyingly, those people go on to do really, really well.
Just pure chance.
Yeah.
It
just blustering their way through. Just blustering their way through.
It's mad. So as you're saying that, it reminded me of we were in Bar Matrix one night speaking to a guy. Can you remember the film Dog Soldiers? Have you ever heard of that?
I have, yeah. Have you heard of that one?
It's like from years and
No, I
years
can't
ago.
say I have.
So it's like a terrible. Well, you can just imagine what it is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
And I remember us talking to some guy who was something to do with the production of the film, and he was trying to get because he'd seen our band saying we're going to get you to do the soundtrack for Dog Soldiers 2 or something to that effect. And just reminded me another one of these
Amazing.
guys, just a raging alcoholic. You're like,
Yeah.
he doesn't sound real, but it probably is really successful, probably really like well known now. But we were like, yeah, all right then, mate,
Yeah, yeah.
get a rest.
There's so many people that I've come across over the years that are like, oh, I'm going to make you a star. You're going to do this. You can do that. You do the other. And like when you're young and you're like impressionable, you're just like, this might be it. The amount of times I've like phoned my dad and been like, I've just met this person. Genuinely, I think it might change my life. And then like a week later, you're like, oh no, nothing's changing here. Like,
I've just googled Dog Soldiers, and is it a horror movie?
Yeah,
You know?
it is. Yeah, it's like ridiculous.
I mean, 6.8 on IMDb ain't bad. That's not a bad score.
Out of 100.
yeah,
Let's have a look.
6.8 out of 100.
Let's have a look. See how many people rated Dog Soldiers, because this could be a good baked film.
Is there a second one?
69,000 voted. So I might put.
Is
this,
it? Is
I'm
it?
signed
yeah.
in. I'm gonna put this on. I'll put this on the watch list. I think.
Is it
I like
one of-
watching obscure films.
There
Is
you
it one
go.
of those ones where it's like so terrible, people are like, oh yeah, you got to see it. You
Yeah.
got to see it though, because it's Is it like?
I mean,
what's
it
that?
looks.
It's so bad, it's that good.
What's that film? The Ultimate Disaster Artist one was like, oh hi Mark.
Oh,
that one.
that one.
yeah,
that
yeah,
one
I
is a
remember
cult
that.
classic. I'll
Yeah,
watch
that's
that.
become a cult
um,
classic because it's so shit, right?
Yeah.
God, what is that called?
The guy, there's a book called The Ultimate Disaster Artist, which I think is it James Franco that wrote that?
James
Something like
Franco
that?
did,
Yeah.
and he also did a film as well, which I watched both back to back because I wanted to.
Very bad man. Separate the art from the artist.
Yeah, apparently he's another wrong, and yeah.
There's not one that will survive, Dave. Not one
I think
that will
it's
survive.
now become more of a when than an if.
Yeah, exactly. When?
That's the spirit.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we have 100% male back catalogue of guests on here. When?
Oh my god, not better thinking about it, is it?
Andy H first.
I can't say that. About Andy H, bless
Poor
him.
Andy. He's not even here to defend himself. Disgusting.
I disagree. I'm putting that on record.
I disagree too. He's too nice.
Too
You know what I
nice.
mean? He's too nice for all that.
World's nicest man.
Can't believe it, Andy. Why would you do that? Oh, God.
Damn it, man.
We have to cut that out. We have to cut that out.
What is it?
Can't be accusing Andy H
What's
of-
what we would cover last week or 2 weeks ago? The BBC. Call it out.
Call it out.
Call it out. That was.
Call it out.
Call it out. Call it
Yeah.
out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
So, I'm gonna jump back into your timeline because
Yes,
I
mate.
really do
Sorry.
want to get to like where we're going. So you're doing some solo DJing. You go into nights that influence you. Era Larkins happened. New raves happened. When are you first making like I'm gonna sit down and make music on my own, make some tunes?
So my mum came home one day. She got a new job, works in education, and she had a MacBook, and it had Logic on it. And I were friendly with Toddler T because they were just on the way up then,
yeah,
and he just helped me basically making some like baseline wobblers,
lovely.
just like how to just basically because he used I don't know what he uses these days, but he used Logic, and
Yeah.
like a bit of a weird program to use then. So he gave me a bit of how to do this, how to do that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
do
So,
this, do
yeah.
that, do
so
the-
yeah. So basically, I was DJing, doing a range of. I'm going to say bass music, just an
Mhm.
easy umbrella.
Was this around the time you were playing sort of like grimy shows?
Yeah, there
so
you
it
go.
kind of
so
fits
Tom
in with that.
Weatherall's like been the person that's like say he booked me and like did all sorts of different events at Harley, etc.
Yeah,
Um,
real range of sort of timbre to his stuff as well.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
From the really sort of harsh sounding,
yeah,
like grimy stuff to more dancey, kind of almost
yeah.
commercial edge stuff.
yeah. So yeah, that I just ended up with a MacBook and I just all in the box sat there just like trying to work out how to create tracks, terrible tracks. Obviously, that's just how it is.
Yeah, yeah. What was your pseudonym at this time again? Sorry.
So this were Muskman Benji, the
Muskman
DJ
Benji,
name,
yeah.
and then it naturally evolved into. So I kept on in the music band practice room, and just kept persevering with it. Sold my drum kit and bought a synth.
Yeah.
Node Lead 2X.
Nice.
Nice
This
red,
is the
white, and
start
black.
of like equipment that you start building up
Yeah.
towards your studio you've got now.
Yeah, there you go. That was the first thing, but I got rid of this snare that I had forever, and it was beautiful. I miss it so much.
Oh,
It's orange pearl snare.
No way you can trace it.
No,
Gone.
gone. R.I.P. Yeah, bought an analog synth because I'm all in the box for me is too restrictive. I find
Yeah.
all the best with. Before you came, I was speaking to Dave about. Whenever I give some guidance to young up and coming musicians,
Yeah.
I always say the best thing you can do is buy a microphone
Mhm.
and start recording anything.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
as soon as you've recorded it, it's uniquely yours.
Yeah.
Anything in the computer, you can load it back up. It's perfect every time. Whereas if you record this now
Yeah.
and add it to whatever you want, it's yours. And that's like the easiest way to just bring in some human element.
Yeah.
Honestly, sorry, one of the best things I ever saw, it was on TikTok. It was like, because you're so right.
Yeah.
It's like, just grab a mic. You remember our first mics ever with the Samsung CO1U?
Me and Dave were making comedy rap music, and he used to have this sort of, back in the rudimentary 2005, 2006 days of PC gaming,
Yeah.
you had like a kind of stick mic, didn't you? That
Oh my
sit there
God.
on your desk.
Oh yeah.
And because he had one of those, I was like, oh, he'll be able to record like me doing silly raps. Because the only other way we were recording it at the time was recording it onto a camera, like on a
Extracting the
VCR, and then just extracting the audio. Yeah. So that was really bad, like
But,
really.
but
tinny.
you know, sorry to interrupt, but all
No,
of
carry
that
on.
is part of your guys' journey. Our journey.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of. I think this is the thing. You know, when everything becomes too easy,
yeah,
there will, like I'm noticing now, quite a lot of the younger generation are like going full circle, like tape cassettes and like all of these
Yeah.
things that we've grown up with. You used to have to work hard, didn't you? Like,
yeah,
I don't know, it's like a boring thing to say. Oh, I used to have to save my pocket money and buy a CD, and I knew it back to front.
yeah.
But I can see quite a trend of like youngsters also going down that, like focusing more. It's obviously not on mass, but
Yeah.
I think it will come full circle where having everything too easy is detrimental. Like you say, having
I
to
think
extract.
having having everything available. Like if you have to make the best of what you've got, then you know they say you can't polish a turd. Sometimes it might just sound shit.
Yeah.
But also like if you can make that shit look and feel as good as it can be, then when you get the next equipment, like
You're really
when,
good. Yeah, yeah.
when we got the USB-C condenser mic I think you spent like, at the time it seemed to me, I was like, that's an unfathomable amount of money that you've just spent on that thing
Yeah.
for the sake of us recording some stupid songs. It was 65 quid or something like that.
Yeah,
it wasn't
about
like
that,
groundbreaking, but like to us at the time, 65 quid was
Yeah.
that's a week's work.
I'm
That's a
honestly-
lot of money.
I'm honestly reminded of, like, I saw this TikTok the other day of Skrillex. He had his phone out and somebody's recording a Coke can, just a bop. Like, and he was doing it on his phone. And I know the
Yeah.
exact song. I was like, oh my God, I know that song. And I looked for the song, you can hear it's pitched up and down, this Coke can flicking.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
And he made it sound this big, like, we had a smash and reverb on it, some compression. It made it sound like, pitched it up and down. It had like this kind of percussion-y kind of pop, 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 pop. And it was, yeah, you could just do anything. You get your phone out and do
Yeah.
that these days.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so, I think you're right. I think we're going full circle with these kind of, because I do think everything we was talking about this the other day feels a bit just regenerated, repolished, especially with AI coming out now. I think they're great tools, but I think that's what they should constantly be. I don't think they should be used to make everything. And also, I'm a bit woo-woo when it comes to, you can feel when something's unique. You can feel when something's had like craft put into it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think you're right. I think we are coming full circle. I really hope so anyway, because I love all that kind of.
For me, I kind of hate when stuff's over-engineered. Like, I like when I'm DJing and stuff, right? Like, tracks now, like, especially like charty house tracks or whatever, they're always just bang on, quite like every drum kick is exactly on the grid. And somebody said to me the other day, like, what do you do when, like, kick drum's, like, slightly off of a grid? And I was like, just nudge it in. Like, but I was like, I think music's kind of best when it's got a little shuffle
Yeah,
to
of
it.
course.
A little kind of groove to it, a little like it's not perfect, it's not exactly
Again, it just
quantized
depends
kind of
on
thing.
the context of where you're DJing and what you're
Yeah.
doing. You know what I mean? Like,
I want more of a humanness. I want more of
Yeah.
like a soul to my music. I want like little mistakes or little like incidentals. I don't know what you would call it. Like like stuff that makes it like. I love the fact that like acid house music, for example, sounds so alien and so futuristic even now. And it was made in 1988, like even earlier than that, sometimes 85, 80, but there's a humanness to it because it was made by mistake. The weird sounds they've got are like, whoa, this is a weird sound. Like, let's just hold it for ages and like see what happens with it. Kind of thing.
That I think that, like, say, it's the having too many things easily. Oh, we were talking again earlier about like presets in synthesizers. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Dave was saying again, similar to me, where I've got no problem with a preset, but I think you should like rip it to bits, work out how how it got there,
Yeah.
and then make your own version of it. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just
You got to make it your own kind
yeah.
of thing.
So I were again talking to so I were helping he's Syrian and he lives in Paris now,
Right.
producing like really good quality, dark-ish European kind of techno, not Berghain kind of vibes, but like quite dark. And I was saying, oh, this sounds like dub, and I quoted something, and basically I tried to educate him about dub music.
Yeah.
And like, because he had these chords and it were like really dubby, and I was like, oh, that sounds like literally just quoting like most obvious dub records.
Yeah.
And it took him a while. He was like, he weren't interested in looking back.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like, well, yeah, I'm not bothered. But then like 2 years later, he came back to me and went, oh, I listened to what you were saying and I went digging further back. And I think it's the quality of his productions, because he really dug into it.
Yeah.
He liked dub. Yeah, I think some people are just like I was saying earlier, it's too easy just to go, right, I've heard that, I'm going to put that there. But I think the people that really go places is those that dig. Like James Murphy, talk about James Murphy.
Yeah.
He creates, LCD Sound System is a tribute to his favourite records. You can hear Depeche Mode, Human League, because all he does is goes, how did they create that sound? I'm going to get that sound, I'm going to put it on my record. And that's
like
it. He wears his influences on his sleeve, literally. But he digs in, and I think that's why. Well, that's why they're literally, arguably, obviously New York, the biggest band in New York. They have been for years, haven't they? And that's like some kind of big deal, isn't it?
Mate, absolutely,
You know what I
yeah. It's like your favorite musician's favorite musician.
Yeah.
Like I think as well.
Yeah,
like there's a reason that they're sort of so well, like held in such high regard. Sorry, is probably what I was looking for. So, just going back to where you were.
Sorry.
So you've got your no, it's fine. I like these little tangents because it just fills in the gaps, I guess, of everything else that's sort of going on. So you've got your first analog synth. You're building up your kind of. Did you build this up over time? Like your studio as it is now. Obviously, it's sort of is it a many years?
That's like
things collected and
that's it. I've bought loads of bits.
What's the you know, like did you know a lot about like equipment and stuff back then? Have you always been like a bit of a tech head, or have you been
not
a bit
at
more
all.
like...
For me, it's like listening to records. I like, how did they make that sound? Oh, they used this. Right, I'll buy one then.
How much is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Then-
that much. I'll
And
buy it next month.
Yeah, there's a thing with like old synths where you never really own them. You just like renting them for the next person. It's like a thing, you know. So I've got some like proper. I've got a Roland Juno 6, which is still sounds like it did in 1982 or whenever it was built. But it's not mine. I'm just renting it for the next person. It's just a case of
That's cute. I like that.
listening to your favourite records and going, oh, I can make that in a laptop. Nah, I've tried that. It doesn't sound right. I want to record it and I want there to be a bit of noise, or like my path from my synth to my computer.
Yeah.
It's a bit broken, but that's added a bit of character to it. That's mine.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, adding the things that most people don't care about, but they matter to me.
Yeah.
And I think it comes out, if you really listen, you'll understand, hence me talking about microphones and telling people to capture your sounds.
I am, you know Rob Gordon, obviously.
Yeah.
Legendary Sheffield producer, the mind, the brains behind the origins of Warp Records.
Yep.
In the early days. I went round to his house once, which for me, I was like, I'm in the presence of a legend.
Yeah.
Like I was fully kind of like awestruck, listened to everything he said, absorbed it all. Like it was.
Why were you there though? What were they?
I had a broken turntable, and a friend said, "Oh, Rob Gordon can fix that," and I was like, "No, he can't." Like no. Like, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Rob will do it." I've dropped him a text, pop round to his house. Here's his address. Go round, and I was talking to him about like music production. I was like, "Are you going to be producing anything new soon?" And he was saying that he's sort of really aware of like the digital age. This is going back 10 years as well.
Yeah.
And so he was saying that because he loves the feel and the sound and the timbre of sort of analog recording onto tape and like the old sort of school way.
Yeah.
But he was like, but I'm he's very much a technology guy as well.
Right. Okay.
So he was like, I'm trying to create a way where I can get that analog feel in a digital sphere.
Yes.
And he was like, I'm very nearly cracked it. He was working on like sound cards and stuff because he makes all his own tech stuff as well. He's making like sound cards and everything. He's got a room full of stuff that he's making, manufacturing, like stuff you would never see in your wildest dream. And I'm just like, my head, like, I'm not a tech guy at all. I don't understand it. And I also have like very little patience for it. Whereas Dave is always the guy that sort of sits down and works out how a sound's made, or like sits and works out how to make a kick drum sound better. I'm always like, can that kick drum just sound better? Like, I don't have the, I don't, my brain doesn't go down the path of like, I want to make it sound better. How can I do that? And mine's more like, I want to write some words over this, or like, I've got an urge to create the melody or the pattern or whatever. Anyway, I would never understand half the stuff that he's got, but that kind of concept just gave me this kind of like, yeah, that sounds just unreal. Like, if you could make that. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. Analog, for me, I think analog's always better. I like the mistakes.
Yeah.
Like the humanness.
Yeah, there's to be fair, there are like quite a few ways to inside computer programs still add character and grit.
Yeah.
I just think it's just a generational thing as well, isn't it? Like the younger generation, they're not bothered about that.
No, they're not bothered about
generally,
the
like
distorted kick drums and the bass that's just like
yeah. But
awful,
there's no right or wrong. That's the thing. It's just a case of what you've grown up with. Like say you've had to record video and extract the audio.
Yeah.
And the pain that you've gone through
Yeah.
makes now we're sat here with 3 mics plugged straight into a little desk.
Oh man, this
connected.
feels like Premier League.
Yeah. But understanding
Sheringham,
it
mate.
and appreciating it, I think that carries a lot. It sound like old men, don't we?
Well, in a way we are.
Yeah, I guess
but it is beautiful. Like, I guess also younger people that listen to this would be like, oh, it's a journey that they'll never have. They might even pine or long for that kind of journey. Theirs is a bit more like, everything's immediate and sudden, and whereas ours is a bit more. It's taken a long time to have the freedom to do what we get to do.
Talking about stuff going into, how we used to take samples and things like that, for example, then put them into our DAW, and then you have to line them up. You've got to get them at the right BPM. Now
You got to get them with the right pitch.
at the
as
weekend,
well.
man, Splice, as in like the library of just samples, which is already incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put it in key and everything. Also now with Ableton, you got this like Splice like thing. I bet it works in other DAWs as well, where it's like it links Splice into Ableton and it like syncs up. So you can like while you're playing your track, you can literally. I was like, where was this when I was 16? I think there are times where.
But is that not just making it is that just gonna make it like almost too easy?
No, because you get there quicker. In my opinion, I like things because my brain, it was never. If I had it back then, because like you said with me, where I get into stuff and I will like go deep on it.
Yeah.
But like also that dissipates very quick. I burn hot quick, and then I'll just go next thing.
Yeah. Oh,
So anything that will allow my brain to get what I have out of my head right into there is only a good thing. I think you still need to do a little bit of legwork. You could be more appreciative. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Of that is a good thing, but there's also, it's like DJing, man. Like that. You come from vinyl to now like syncing music. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I just think it means it evolves music and elevates it.
Yeah, whether it makes it better or worse, I guess is
an opinion.
Isn't it? Yeah.
You're talking about Splice, so my latest single, Temperatures Rising, with another Sheffielder, Nathaniel Short.
Yeah.
I'm helping him.
Listen to it on the way over. Nice.
It's disco vibes. I'm helping produce his next crop of singles, which are like very much in the pop house realm.
Yeah.
And he's sent over some demos. He's not a musician of any sorts.
Mm-hmm.
And he's assembled his entire tracks with just Splice. And I'm listening to it and going, and all he's done is just piece together, going, oh, I need a little bit here and a little bit there.
Yeah.
And he's just flicked through for hours and just assembled this thing. And I'm like, he's like, I think I need to like replace this for like you playing some proper instruments. I'm like,
No, you don't.
honestly, mate, it just needs me to mix it because he's like he's got this natural ability to write really catchy, poppy tracks.
Yeah,
and he's got it backed up by this like 140 BPM like banging,
well
well produced Splice house, and I'm like, just go for it, mate.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah, it's gonna work.
Just get that out and then build your profile up. Because
Yeah,
like I always say this, like I'll listen to any song. If the core of a song, like folk music is literally an acoustic guitar and a good song,
yeah.
well written, or you can have something that's dressed up with a massive orchestra. If the core is
A guy in
there,
a funny hat usually.
yeah.
Yeah,
If the core's there, don't matter to me. I'll just hear the core and that's that. And
yeah,
I think that is scalable. So if you can just write those and capture that,
yeah.
everything else will come with it. Because he's saying, I think we should replace it. I'm like, mate, just get him out. It's
One,
really good.
I mean, an interesting one is arguably the biggest pop song of probably the last 5 years, Sabrina Carpenter Espresso.
Yeah.
That's 2 Splice samples, and then the producer, I think, and I did know the producer. I think I did know the producer, but I don't know if it's the same guy. It's just the bass line.
Yeah.
He added. I mean, the bass line's wicked, but that was like the guitar line, the drums, everything. It's all Splice. The rest is just
Nobody cares, do they?
no, exactly.
That's the
And
thing.
it's the biggest hit of the last 5 years.
Yeah.
It's a good song is a good song.
Yeah.
You can't fuck with it. Your mic's off.
Sorry, I weirdly, man, was going through Splice and I heard this vocal and I was like, oh my God, I've used that in a video edit where I've gone to motionarray.com and I've heard this vocal line, but they've used it in a completely different way.
Yeah.
And it just triggered. I said to Softy, I grabbed my laptop. I said, look, listen to that. That's that. And he goes, oh my God, that's so weird. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I heard it in just one of the videos I was using, but
Yeah.
I don't think it necessarily makes it.
What was
again.
there's loads of those as well, isn't there? Like the Wilhelm scream. That's in everything, isn't it?
Do you know what I really like?
Sort of thing.
I want to go back to listen to Prodigy and how they spliced up samples because they were some of their sampling is wild.
Genius.
How they just like
And the
kind of-
process that they went through as well to have
Yeah.
to do
Oh,
that. You know what I
imagine.
mean?
Back in 93, 92, 93, 91, even younger than that. He's even earlier than that.
It's like films, right? Back in the day, films had to be literally stitched together,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
taped with.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
that make the film worse now? Because will people like film creators now be like, "Oh, you're not really taping it together. It's not really a real film, is it?" Where
There's
you're
just a
using
kind of-
great 4K cameras.
There's just a kind of beauty of physically interacting with art, which is why vinyl's doing so well, because people, human beings, like to physically own stuff. We spoke about this in like a very early episode of this podcast where we were talking about like we think people should own DVDs again, because like when you have Netflix and all the streaming things or whatever, that thing can go away. But to physically have something for the end of the world times and to be able to touch it and interact with it and like put it on something and collect it, there's like a human like desire to want to
Yeah.
collect stuff. I mean, I get it probably goes back to fucking primal times when people are collecting berries and
Do you know
twigs
what I
and
think's coming back?
what's that?
Noggers on
Excuse me.
porn. Porno. That's what Softy calls. He calls it noggers.
Excuse me.
But for top shelf stuff, you know, when you buy the
Right.
magazines, especially in the UK, because has anybody been
Now-
on Pornhub right now?
Now the joke bands come in.
Joke band's coming.
Keir Starmer's woke joke band.
Kiss. Yeah, you have to. There's no way I'm uploading my face as
Well,
a digital print. Have
I
you
mean-
done it?
Well, you don't have to do that, do you? You just have to prove your age. You can use like a verification app. What do you mean? Have I done it?
I'm not using a verification.
I did it. I
app.
did it years ago, mate. What are you on about?
What do you mean years? Yeah,
You
somebody else
you
said
have an
this
account.
as well.
You verify your age.
I think I had to do that for some paperwork when we were buying a house.
Paperwork.
No, this is this
Yeah, yeah.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
We had to do it same way. We're like, sending a photo of yourself. I'm like, this
Yeah.
is weird. This.
I reckon porno magazines are coming back. I reckon we're
Yeah.
gonna have to go to the shop and
You're
actually.
You
start-
heard it here first.
You're gonna start finding like iPhones just playing porn in bushes and
Or PSPs.
yeah, PSPs.
PlayStation Port was weird. Funny story. We
Mate,
found.
is PSP still a thing?
No, funny story. When I used to work at Game Station, we found a PSP with some porno in it in the stock room.
Yeah,
That's
that's like,
one of our employees
Is
has
joking.
been watching Noggers on a PSP, and it's just been
yeah.
absolutely just been rinsed. And was like, who was that?
Well, I mean, back in the day, they used to like again going back to physical records. They used to put porn in them, didn't they? Like the sleeves on. What's the Queen album where it's got loads of like naked ladies on a bike. This is a very random aside, but I'll just jump it in quickly. My wife's dad, his brother, produced like Queen, Motley Crue,
All right.
who else? Like Motorhead, loads of old bands from the 80s, basically, like mostly hair metal kind of things, but also Queen. And one of the albums that he produced has got like the Bicycle song on, I think, and like a few others. And so we were in a record shop in, I don't know, the Peaks somewhere, and my wife found an album that had an uncle's name on it. She was like, I'm going to buy this because it's got my uncle's name on it. So we bought it, and the guy that was like selling it was like, oh, it's nearly perfect, this. It's just missing the pull-out sleeve. So we're like, oh, okay, cool. So then we went to mum and dad's. We were talking to our dad about it. And we were like, oh, I bought this album, but it's just missing the pull-out sleeve. He's like, hang on a minute, I've got that one. And he went into the garage in his house and brought this sleeve in. It's just loads of topless women basically riding bikes. There was like a pull-out sleeve.
What,
So he had it in the garage, and I was like,
oh, so-
why is it in the garage? What?
Hang on. So, and that were issued by the label. It's not like some.
Yeah. So the
it's actually official. You mean?
yeah, it's like the official pull-out sleeve for this Queen album was like a load of not old women, loads of women basically, busty women, topless on bikes, riding bikes, and there was like a printed inner sleeve kind of thing.
Never heard of that.
But yeah, it's I can't remember the name of the album. I'll try and find it for you, and I'll send you the thing over so you believe me. But yeah, genuinely, it's so funny that he was like, oh yeah, no, I haven't got the album. I've got the sleeve in the garage. Yeah, it's fantastic. He popped back in with his sleeve. There you go. There's the sleeve for you. Complete album now. Yeah, it's brilliant. But we need to get back to your timeline because I'm aware we're drifting away. When's Yarni? When's the conception of Yarni happening?
Yeah. So basically,
It's 10 years.
Yeah. So my first album. So basically, I just ended Muskman Benji.
Yeah.
And then transitioned into, came up with a name.
Where's the name come from?
From Robert Yarni, who used to play for Real Madrid.
Okay, there we go. Like it.
Yeah, there you go. But I made sure it were SEO. I think it's SEO compliant. I'm trying to think of the right word, so you could Google it. Basically, if Robert Yarni was spelt with a J, but it's pronounced Yarni.
Right.
So I changed it to a Y, and it's really Googleable. So
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So basically, I started selling all my drums, etc.
Yeah.
Bought some analog gear. Started listening to a lot of German house music. Yeah, there you go. And just tried to
it's very
recreate
good.
that.
We like it. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, and then just some label from Berlin, ran by a Spanish guy, put out my first EP, and then you just get the bug from there because you release it and you get like feedback from like DJs who's played it.
So you got, with your first release, you got
Yes.
like immediate feedback.
Yeah,
it was good enough straight away.
No, the music, listening back to it now, it's terrible, but the guy took a punt on me, and obviously it gave me the...
How did he find it? Were you sending it out?
Yeah, I was just sending it out.
Okay.
Well, so Kerry Chandler were meant to sign it, and then he
Wow,
held it for
mate.
6... Yeah, I know.
First single.
Yeah,
First
yeah,
single.
first EP.
Okay, cool. Brilliant.
Held me on for 6 months with his like A&R man, and then just like went, oh no, sorry, it's not happening. I'm like, oh, sound.
That's
So, like,
wild. Not everybody gets to that
Oh, yeah,
point
yeah,
like
yeah,
straight
of course,
away.
yeah.
So the music must have been good. Like it maybe
Yeah.
not to your standards now, but like
Yeah.
it must have been good. Kerry Chandler doesn't just sign any old shite. I've tried. Don't worry. Trust me.
yeah.
I've sent him some demos. Like,
Yeah, I guess because it's quite, my music's very melodic.
yeah,
So, and obviously he's a wizard of the keys.
yeah.
So Red Light Music, they were called, from Berlin. That gave me my first bit of enthusiasm. Then I went around just releasing like 4-track EPs with different labels.
Yeah.
And then my nan were dying of cancer, so I decided to write an album because it was like a way to focus on something that I could control rather than
Yeah.
couldn't.
Yeah.
So that's where I wrote my first album, where I was like, right, I'm going to dig into this because this is going to be like a distraction from like all of the pain and upheaval, you know what I mean?
Oh, mate.
No, but listening back, like it just captures. I'm on my 5th album now. Each album's like captured a moment in the last 10 years of my life. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's nice. It's like a diary almost.
So when you listen back, you kind of transported back to the time when you were writing it and where you were,
Yeah,
and, like,
yeah.
what things were going on in
like
life.
the whole
and-
album's dressed up in black and white, so it's quite, you know, like monochrome and quite like dark and
Yeah.
representative of the time. And then I found a label to put that out, and that's where like DJ Harvey and Andrew Weatherall were supporting. So I'm like,
Wow.
once you start getting their names, like
Yeah.
Andrew Weatherall said, "You're an amazing artist." And I use it as a quote now. For
Yeah.
my, like, press
I've
releases,
I've
so.
seen that one, man. Like, but
Yeah.
that's you
Yeah.
don't get better than that.
Yeah, and then
R.I.P.
I remember,
one of the
so we
greats.
remixed that album, and two guys remixed it. One of them's dead himself now, and Andrew Weatherall closed his set at. He used to do that festival in that castle in France, Carcassonne, I think they call it,
Right.
somewhere like that. Anyway, someone sent me a video. Someone were proposing to someone while they were playing a remix of my track
Oh,
from my
man.
debut album by Andrew Weatherall, and the other person that remixed it also passed away. So it's like very emotional. You know what I mean?
So I mean, Yarni seemed to just take off kind of straight away from the off almost.
Yes.
I mean, I know I know there's a lot of legwork and a lot of years and a lot of
Yeah.
dodgy ice cream men in the interim to get there, but like
Yeah.
it seems like because your previous project, the grimy stuff was sort of like it was doing all right. You were getting gigs, you were playing stuff out, but
Yeah.
it doesn't seem to have like this seems to be where it's like a true genuine reflection of what you want to make.
Yeah.
And your heart and soul's in the music kind of thing.
I think that's the thing. Like, I've always said this about Sheffield. Like, Sheffield in our era has been indie bands
Yeah.
and really dark electronic music.
Yeah.
And obviously, like I've talked earlier about, like, odd venue where they play soulful house music. But traditionally, you look at like the big things within my little world, and it's like Cabal, which is really dark in, you know, or
Yeah.
Jamaican, obviously, or stripped back
Dubby
bass.
Yeah.
And I've always liked melody because I'm an indie kid.
Yeah.
So it's like I never really. This is why I've never focused on Sheffield, because
Yeah.
like the band, the singer used to write songs about like Division Street and
Yeah.
I live in Sheffield and all this, and I used to say, well, what about rest of the world?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think
The
that was
world is
yeah.
bigger than Sheffield.
So releasing this melodic stuff, this is why I've not had much presence in Sheffield, because I've been releasing electronic music that were very melodic and great in Europe. Like most of my demographic is like not in Sheffield.
It's interesting that you say that because my friend who I mentioned earlier, Frameworks, his
Yes.
main fan base is in America.
Yeah.
And he goes out and plays like mad shows at like Red Rocks and
Yeah.
fucking like Coachella, and like he'll play to like 10,000 people,
Yeah.
and then he'll come home and can't get a gig here.
Yeah.
Or he'll play like Hedgerow House in Leeds or something to like 3 people.
Yeah,
it's
it's strange,
it's
isn't it?
insane.
Yeah.
But his music connects really like that's it. He's making it in his bedroom in Manchester, but he's sending it out to the world, and that's a similar thing to what you're doing.
Yeah, that's the beauty. That is one of the positives about the internet. You know what I mean? Like we were talking earlier about the analog days, but
Yeah.
that is a benefit. Is
Oh yeah, the digital days are
my reach is like
yeah.
like if I look at my demographics, like I say, it's like 80% men,
Yeah.
40-ish year old, and they're like big strong pockets in like Germany, America,
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah.
Obviously there's a London. I get quite, because of my jazzier stuff, I've like been put under the UK jazz bracket. So there's obviously London's
Yeah.
the epicenter of that, really, isn't it?
You're getting a bit of support from. So you mentioned
Yeah.
Craig Charles as well. Any of the UK DJs sort of supporting you? Andrew Weatherall, of course.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
before he
like
passed away.
obviously on the radio front, obviously Jazz FM have done a lot to playlist my music in the past, and then
That's awesome, man.
like Huey Morgan's done quite a few features on me.
Great guy.
Yeah,
Love it.
Just still waiting for that Giles Peterson. I
I'm
sent him my
surprised
album.
I'm surprised he's
I
not been
know.
there.
I'm hoping with this new album, we've got an in with him. It's ironic because I sent him my Japanese album, and 18 months later he added me on Instagram and said, "Sorry for the delay. I've just listen to it. It's a lovely album."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh my god, thank you."
Yeah.
I wish you'd said that publicly though, because then I can kind of like go, "Look
Yeah,
at this."
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? So I
Can I
can't-
screenshot this message
Yeah, I
and
know.
post it out?
I do say he said I've got a lovely album. You know, just you got to use these things. You know what I mean?
Mate, absolutely. You need to.
Yeah.
So your
Yeah.
your focus is literally you're like there's a again, just to throw in another little quote and a random bit of information here. There's a quote I read about Liverpool once that it doesn't relate to Sheffield at all, but like they often say that people in Liverpool have a world focus because they're sort of stood on the edge of the world looking out at the rest of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's like a port town.
Yeah.
I reference
And
that because
there's a lot of like
my wife's in
immigrants
Liverpool.
as well, isn't
Yeah,
there? You know what I mean? So,
absolutely. People come in, people go out, and like I guess in the olden days, the ships would come in and people would leave and they'd go off and make their fortunes in the rest of the world. And it seems like you've got that kind of focus. You're not just focusing on make it big in my city, and then because that's usually the way to do it. You make some small ripples where you are, and then your bigger ripples sort of like move out.
I tried that with the band, and obviously
world.
we were too Sheffield centric, and then I realised, like I said, there's the rest of the world. Why not?
Yeah,
Why not just have a go at like targeting everywhere else?
big old place.
Yeah.
Thousands of people probably millions of people in like Colombia and that. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's places you've never seen, people you've never seen, people you never played to. But music's a common connector, isn't it? You don't have to, it doesn't have to be. You have to understand the language to feel it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's a really nice way of looking at it, mate. I love that.
Yeah.
So what? So obviously you had sort of early success with your first EP, but what was the real whoosh moment with Yarni where you went, oh, that's taken off?
So coming full circle, wrote loads of electronic music. Started to realise I miss playing instruments like a guitar or some drums. So then I went full circle and started rebuying these instruments and trying to incorporate them into my music. And then I started thinking, I need to bring back that influence. So I was working in this strictly club, like releasing stuff on Beatport, literally aimed at DJs, 4 to the floor, formulaic stuff. Then I started to think, right, I need to get back to songwriting.
Yeah.
Like I say, so I wrote the album, and then I went to Japan in 2018, and Isle of Dogs, Wes Anderson came out at the same time. Obviously, that's all. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so very Japanese. Came back from there, super inspired, and just wrote this album, Borrow, and it was just like a mixture of electronic stuff. And then I realised this would sound really well with some jazz players on it.
Yeah.
So it were like, I went on Facebook and just started asking like groups and just it were like.
I love that, man. Just direct, like, because a lot of people, sorry, just to interrupt you briefly, a lot of people would go, oh, that sound good with some jazz players on it. Shame I don't know any, and just move on. Whereas you're like, right, sound good with some jazz players on it. Well, how am I going to do it? Let's go directly to Facebook. Let's get some jazz players on it.
Yeah, and that's it. So basically that was COVID. Everybody recorded from home.
Yeah. How does that look then? How are you doing that? How are you?
So I've always had a studio, so I was still going down to my studio, and I was just saying to people, never even met. It's mad. Never met any of these people. They were just sending me like recordings of like sax and.
They've got their own mics, their own sort of recording.
A lot of it's really poor quality, but I got away with it. Like,
does that add to it in a way though?
Yeah, that's it. It feeds back into what we're saying. Yeah. So just prior to that, I released a single for free on I never had a Bandcamp. That's one of my biggest regrets, not setting up a Bandcamp sooner. So I put out a single called Transitions because I was transitioning into a new jazzier sound, and it was like Afrobeat, basically just like Afrobeat, but made by a white guy.
Yeah.
Austin. Loads of people. He did Bandcamp Radio and Ali from First Word.
Yeah.
He just went
tie into
mega.
last week's episode with Andy.
Yeah, there you go, mate.
Amazing.
It went mega on, like, I just said pay what you want, and it just like exploded, and I'm like, wow, I think I'm onto something here.
Yeah.
Released the Japanese album. Lou Kuna posted it and said this is a bomb.
Wow.
And then like overnight sold 50 copies of the record because he's an influencer.
He is an influencer,
but the right kind.
Yes, yeah.
So I were on his radar.
A taste maker.
Yeah.
I'd like to call people like that taste makers for sure.
But and then I were on his radar, and obviously he's got a mob.
Yes, yeah.
Then that gave birth to me exploring that sound. So then I ended up with So that's.
You feel like you've got a bit of momentum behind you. Does it give you extra confidence, or you already quite? You seem quite focused and just you like drilled down on what you're doing.
Yeah. So I just thought, right, well, I've got this like. I've always been compared to like Bonobo, which is weird because I've never really listened to their music. But then someone will send me something, say that sounds like you, and I'll go, oh yeah, he's got exact same chord progression where he's done so and so. So like, we're just arriving. I'm not I'm not comparing myself, by the way. Other people are comparing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying we're arriving at the same idea from two different.
without realizing it, kind of thing, from two different perspectives.
Yeah, so it's just introducing jazz players. Obviously, I've never had a music lesson. I don't profess to being able to. So I'll work with these jazz musicians and I'll let them just record and then I'll extract. The only skill I think I possess working with others is extracting the bits that they get rid of.
Yeah, it's
And
like arrangement, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so I'll just tell someone to record for ages, and then I'll just fashion something that they'd have never even thought of.
Yeah.
And that's how I've pieced a lot of my music together in the most recent times.
But that's beautiful. It's like sampling, but from unique music that nobody else has access
there you go,
to.
yeah.
It really is like you're making the records instead of like going to record shops and digging.
Yeah.
You're making the recordings.
Again, it's just another version of reverse engineering, isn't it? It's like
it's a really unique way of making music. I've not heard many people. I mean, I'm sure there are others that do it that way, but I've not heard many that do that and just go get a load of musicians to record stuff, and then I'll just chop that up and sample it and read.
It's great because, like, obviously, I think if you say to any musician, you've got a blank canvas, you're going to get the most creativity out of them.
Yeah.
So long as they're creative, because there are quite a lot of. I've worked with some musicians that are incredibly well educated, but they'll just follow a score.
Yeah.
And they've got no creativity. There's nothing wrong with that because they're like literally incredible, but you need to write a sheet.
Give
of
me a
music
really narrow brief,
Yeah.
and I'll work best to that kind of thing.
And then there's others where I'm like, you do what you want, and I'll make sure it sounds good. And that's the skill that I've developed.
You're like the funnel, basically, to all this music. It's a really lovely way of doing it. Have you heard many occasions like that, David?
I mean, I definitely know what you mean about, some people are very technically, like they've done it for years, but they're not very creative, whereas it can go the other way. Some people know how something sounds that they got in their head, but they don't really have any skills. Creativity goes but in both ways.
Yeah.
And I think that's fascinating about just, I do that with video editing as well. I can work on a brief, which sometimes I love because it's a no-brainer. If somebody goes, like, give me a brief.
Yep.
I love it. But then other times, if there's a lot of pressure around, you got a blank canvas, go.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do like that. It depends. You've got to be in the mood. Depends what mood I'm in, man.
Yeah, that's also true as well, isn't it? But then also, I guess that if somebody's in a bad mood or a darker mood and they're playing some darker stuff, you might be able to flip that as well. Like some of the street songs are incredibly dark sounding, but he turns them into these kind of anthems in a way, doesn't he?
So I'm not talented. Like,
well, you flip it.
I don't know like chords or anything. So when I sit down in front of a piano, I was doing it the weekend. I couldn't tell you the chords I'm playing. No idea. I just know if my fingers hit those things there. It's the same with guitar. Like I know the basics, like G, C, F, but beyond that, I'm not like technical. I either looked at Taz back in there, or with the piano, I just started playing.
Yeah.
And then just, I don't know, just
it sounds right.
That sounds
right,
nice. That feels right. I go on feel rather than technical ability, rather than, because I'm not.
I think I genuinely think that quite a lot of the most creative, some artists I know, their output is by using that method, because you can see people that are too technical. Like you see all these like walls are like modular synths, and you see these people like playing with all these things, but the end, what comes out at the end sounds terrible. There's all this technical stuff, but they forgot about they're doing it for themselves rather than for the enjoyment of others. And I've seen other people like working like that where they just don't know what, like me, I don't know what I'm doing, but it's just all by feel, and it's worked. And it's like there's no rules. It's just like I found it insane when some of my records were being playlisted by Jazz FM, and I've got like Miles Davis and all these like Blue Note artists, and then me in the middle who's got no idea about anything. You know what I mean? If I sat with a jazz musician and they're going, it's a pentatonic so and so, I'm like, no idea.
I don't know about that. Yeah. But then also they be like, well, you arrange it, then you chop it.
Yeah.
Rob Nicholson's a bit like that. When we had him in with the photography side of things, he's a bit like he just got stuck in. He's like, I don't really, I know a little bit, but I know how to take a photo. I see something, I pick up my camera. I just want something that snaps and goes. It's more about how he feels in the moment and seeing it and capturing it, and he's a lot
Yeah.
like
Especially
that.
with photography, because obviously, it's depending on the setting, you've just all you need to know is how to frame it, isn't it? You know what
Yeah.
the subject is, whatever that is. That's you can teach it, but I think some people naturally have got that. Again, it's like the
There's
same with all any creative endeavor, isn't it? You know what
There's a
I mean?
similar thing in the music and the photography where it's like it's capturing the moment, but it's capturing a specific part of that moment. So, like you were saying, when you're listening to this music back, it might, the people that are playing it might not recognize that bit, but you're like, that's the bit,
Yeah.
and that's like Rob saying that's the moment, like that's
Yeah.
the singer or whoever he's photographer taking a photograph of, for example, if he's doing like a live gig, the singer might not be like, oh, that was like the best moment to take a photograph, but he knows when it's like
Yeah.
raw emotion, powerful kind of
Yeah.
image, symbolism, all that, and you are the same with the music. It's like that's the
Yeah.
that's the
it.
gold right there. That's the bit.
That's
that
the
I
bit
want.
that's taken me all these years. I've just arrived at becoming like with this new album. I am.
Yeah, let's talk new album.
Yeah.
This is exciting. So like I love the way that you collaborate with people. You very like your just to pay you a few compliments before you get into it. Your social media output is very honest, very real, and very calm.
Yeah.
Like I love that. I always feel very calm watching your videos, and I always like that.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of stuff is very like in your face, and it kind of has to be. And a lot of the clips you make for this podcast are like you need to hook them in straight away.
Yeah.
Whereas yours is very like slow in.
It does
like, kind
take
of
me.
calm.
Yeah. It can come to your detriment because of the attention span of others.
Yeah.
But what I've realised is I'd rather have a core following that are aligned with you know what I mean. Like the reality for me. Like I have quite a lot of challenges, which are rightfully so these days. As a approaching middle-aged, white, straight, male, bold man, there's a limit
Speak to me, baby.
to
Come on.
who my target audience is, like with my
Yeah.
music and stuff. So like that's a reality that I face. So there's no point trying to like. That's why it is real. I'm just who I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As you can see, just not bothered about trying to pretend, because it's at the end of the day, like going all the way back to the field,
Yeah.
we started chasing trends.
Yeah.
So, oh, that's cool, let's do that. When
Yeah.
you're chasing a trend, you're already behind. So by the time you've created whatever that thing is, you're
Yeah.
behind. And trends are trends. They just get drops like clothes or whatever.
Yeah.
So as you get older, you just go, I'm not bothered about this. I like LCD sound system. I like having a good dance. I like Simon and Garfunkel. I'm going to put all this together,
Yeah.
and there'll be people out there that get it. That's why my Instagram is my record collection.
Yeah.
I just share it, and it's like
Love that.
it's the full spectrum of music because that's me, and I'm attracting a following
Yeah.
that are aligned. I'm not going techno,
Yeah.
and then going, oh, I've got a jazz album coming out, because they'd be like, that's.
I also
you know what
love
I mean?
that you like some of your moments. Like I've been enjoying the kind of the Oasis hate and stuff at the minute, whereas like they're not even a great band. I'm like, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that they're not a great band. It's the way that they make you feel.
Yeah.
It's the way that they've inspired world musician. World music producers, and jazz producers like yourself. You're in early days. It's like it's seeing the drummer from Oasis and the way he holds his sticks.
Yeah.
And now it's like, you're making jazz, which couldn't be further from like Oasis's sound, but also there's some elements of that have come through, like the expansiveness and
The thing is, though, if you really want to dig into it, there are elements of jazz within some of Alan White of Oasis.
100%.
So like, I mean, we don't need to go down that route, but
No.
that's what I'm saying. It's like,
You could write an essay on it if you were doing like a if you're doing a dissertation.
yeah.
How
It's,
Alan White from Oasis was a jazz drummer at heart.
Yeah,
kind of,
there you go. This is the thing. As you get older, you stop caring about trying to be liked by everybody, don't you? You just kind of go, I'll just find my little audience.
Yeah.
Obviously, my social media. I was talking to my mate the other day about my record collection, and he's like, and the sharing of it, and I was jokingly, like when you go to like a posh restaurant and you get a deconstructed something or other, and they put it on plate in front of you. And I've said, well, for me, my social media at the minute's like a deconstructed DJ set, because nobody really books me to play anywhere. So, and I thought, I've got all these records that I'm passionate about, and they've all got a story. So like when you DJ,
Yeah.
Obviously, you do your commercial stuff, but you do stuff that you really truly like.
Yeah.
You're hopefully educating. Like, it's weird being a DJ, isn't it? Because it's slightly narcissistic.
Yes.
Like you're obviously you do a lot where you're catering to those people.
Yeah.
But then there's other elements where you're like, I've got a supreme knowledge of music and I'm going to educate you.
I think the funny thing about when I started to DJ was I thought that being a DJ was knowing loads of music and like educating people about it.
Yes.
And I very, very quickly realised it's like actually understanding what other people like about music, trying to understand how to put what other people like together and do that in a way that like caters for everybody in a room at once.
Yeah.
Whereas like some people in the corner will absolutely hate everything. Some people will love everything because they're just more open-minded. Some people in the middle will sway either way, and you have to like just grab them and nudge them back and just gently herd everyone sort of into the middle. And whereas everyone's sort of like 60% happy but not 100% happy.
Yep.
Whereas if you get to the point where you're more of a specialist DJ, or you're like yourself, for example, now if you have like your albums out and stuff, and then you do maybe like a little tour or something, and it's not a live set, it's like a DJ set, that would be very much, I guess, you get to play whatever you want, and then people are going to see you because they trust your taste or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought DJing was going to be straight away
Yeah.
when I was playing in like bars in Sheffield, in Soho, and I'm playing like hey, I've heard this jazz song on the radio, I think it's great, and everyone's like, yeah, but where's Rihanna? Like that's what we want in here, kind of thing. So but
that's like you talk about Andy H and the last one. He's like, you're good at that, but Andy H, obviously, like you say, he's just got that ability no matter what audience. But that's it depends on. So what I were getting at is, obviously I don't do that. I don't DJ really.
Yeah.
But so I thought, well, I've got all these records that I'm passionate about. I've just deconstructed a DJ set by just going, right, I'd be playing these out and educating you all like a knobhead.
Yeah.
Why don't I just share them and just, because I'm passionate about them, and convince people why they're good. And I've really enjoyed people engaging back, because that's the whole point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're posting something, generally you're hoping, when I'm promoting myself, it's difficult because nobody really cares about that unless there's like a groundbreaking thing. So like sharing a record and someone going, oh, if you like that, check so-and-so out. I think that's brilliant, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you're engaging with someone and it's full circle, and then they're educating you, and it's like, that's what social media is meant to be about, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Like one final point, I guess, as well, I think as a DJ, you kind of forget about like the beauty of music sometimes, because you're not enjoying the records. You're thinking, is this going to make people dance?
Yeah.
Is this going to make people, like, you know, stay? Is this going to make, you know, where should I mix this in? Where should I mix it out? You don't think, how does this make me feel?
Yeah.
Which I think is sort of lost a little bit sometimes.
But that had come out in the overall, how we could measure the set. Because if you just stood there and you're just going through emotions and you're not enjoying it, then obviously people see that, and it goes full circle, doesn't it?
I think that's it as well. Like the more animated you are about your performance, the more people kind of resonate with it. I did a final point on me, by the way, because I do really want to talk about your new album. I did a set last week where I was DJing to like grad week students, and their mums were in. And at the start of the night, I was like just playing kind of like some fun disco edits that I had. And I was just really enjoying myself.
I love that.
And because of that, I was sort of dancing around and like having a good time behind the decks and like putting a bit of flair and like pomp into it and stuff.
Yeah.
And they were like loving it. They were having a good dance and stuff. And then I was like, more people came in. I was like, I'm going to have to switch to the kind of more commercial stuff that they're expecting, because en masse everyone's going to do it. And the people that were dancing at the start just sort of left. They were like, oh, you know,
but you
were
had that
enjoying
moment though, didn't you?
I did.
You know what I mean?
It's that's when it's the most pure. That's when it's like the nicest, for sure. So you're making all these wicked connections using social media. You're really sort of pushing that out there. And this new album is very collaborative, may I say so?
Yes. Yeah.
Intentionally?
So basically, I just started. I made the mistake of releasing a purely electronic album and went, let's reflect rather than be arrogant. Let's just go whatever messed up. So I started writing some more demos with back to my roots, basically. You know what I mean? Like full live drums, normal, an actual bass, guitars,
Yeah.
Sculpted like 10 or 12 demos, and then thought, these need singers.
Yeah.
So I just started searching. So I've been trying to find local singers to work with for years.
Yeah.
And obviously I've put stuff out, and you get Sue from the Working Men's Club going, sending you, and it's like,
Not quite the vibe,
Yeah,
but big up Sue.
yeah. Nothing wrong with Sue. Sorry, Sue.
She's singing songs about Division Street.
Yeah, there you go. Terrible. Yes, so yeah. Yeah, it happened upon Nathaniel Short,
Yeah,
who's from Sheffield United fan, which is great.
yeah,
He wrote Temperatures Rising. He just sent it back, and I was like, this is a great pop song.
yeah.
Sorted, let's properly record it. And talking locally, Franz Von, who you'll know.
Franz Van Man from KOG.
Yeah, there you go. He were in the studio above me. 'Cause we had, so I was down at Kelham Island. Below me is Chris, who produces with Franz.
Yeah.
And above were Tom from Nubian Twist
Nice.
and KOG, Quaker, and Franz. Franz came to me when I had my Pina album out and went, that's banging that. And I'm like,
Wow. Yeah.
cheers. Do you want to do something? And then it took all this time to. So Franz is on the album.
Amazing.
And this is a beauty working with different people.
Sorry, did you say Nubian Twist?
Yes.
I swear I've done a video edit for them on a Green Island. Did they do Green Island Festival?
Yes, they probably would have done that. So
I swear I've seen them in a video edit that I've done. Nubian Twist. I remember doing the graphic.
Great. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
10-piece. Like,
Yeah, great group. I was going to say
Interesting,
band
dude.
group.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Carry on. Sorry.
It's all right, mate.
collective.
Yeah, Franz is on the album. So I wrote this like Belliricky number, and he came to the studio and recorded over it, and I'm like, nah, this needs to be hip hop. So I just scrapped it and kept him,
Yeah,
and I've got like a little sound from have you seen the White Lotus TV show?
I have. Yeah.
So the first soundtrack is quite unique. Everybody knows it. There's a drum in it. I keep telling this story to different people. So in like Latin music, more Brazilian, there's a drum called a cuica, which is a monkey drum.
Right.
Call it monkey drum. It's like a drum with a hole with a stick, and it makes this really unique noise. Well, I've kept that in. So there's a single coming out called Natural Light. Listen out for it with Franz.
Beautiful.
So the beauty of working with all different people is Franz wrote his bit and he wrote a chorus, and I was like, it's not, I need a chorus this. So then I could draw from previous times on my Pina album,
Yeah.
where with a guy called Jeff Darko, who's like a
That's my favourite song, by the
Everybody
way,
said
on
same.
that album.
It's
It's so moving.
yeah. So I sent it to Jeff and said we need a chorus, and he come back with it, and I was like, this is great because it's like
that's
he's
the
got
one.
like this gospel vibe. He calls his music psychedelic gospel.
Yeah.
So we've got hip hop, Brazilian cuica, and psychedelic gospel, and my mate Jono doing a sax solo, and it's like
My mate Jono.
and it's like 3-minute pop arrangement.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like,
Vibey.
yeah, it's weird this because keep talking about pop and people see. Obviously, you do like Day Fever and stuff, and obviously a lot of it's pop.
Yeah.
People, it's weird. People have like a negative connotation towards
Oh,
pop,
yeah.
popular music, innit? It's just, and I find myself talking about it quite a lot. Where pop, and like saying those, I'm like, I love like arrangements by like ABBA. If you look at, I've seen Noel
Such
Gallagher
a-
talk about
yeah.
it, like the way that they arrange their music.
Yeah. It's such a
incredible,
broad
you know what I mean?
spectrum pop as well. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, it's the most popular, it's literally called pop as well because it's
Yeah.
popular.
That's it.
It's popular for a reason because it's catchy and it's memorable and it's fun and it makes people feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. So the core. So yes, across 10 tracks, 10 different artists. We're spanning everything from jazz funk to disco, hip hop, Afrobeat.
Love that.
Um,
Have you got a focus on the dance floor from your DJ days when you're producing music? You're like, how is this gonna? Or have you lost that now? Or are you just a bit more?
well,
like,
that's it. Like I say, I tried the
It'll make you
electronic
feel.
stuff with the last album, and it kind of failed. So I went, let's get back to like songs.
Yeah.
Let's get some singers because
Yeah.
a bit of feedback at last album where there weren't enough vocals. So I thought, well, let me listen to people.
Yeah.
People are willing to reach out and say that were the problem I had with your album.
Yeah.
If that's a fan, then it's weird, isn't it? Because like some artists, like talking about Alex Turner,
Yeah.
he's just going to do what he wants to do, but they've got a tribe
Yeah.
that'll follow him. Whereas
Yeah.
at my level, you kind of like need to go, all right, Dave, what do you reckon to so and so?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Could you not? Rick Rubin has a quote, and he said the fans come last. because music should be for you.
Yes.
But could you not do, like, if you really fancy somebody, you want to be, not, you want to keep to your core audience. So could you, like, just do different projects? You could release under a different alias some other different stuff if you fancy branching out. That's
if you
what I
need to
always
get it
thought.
out of you. Kind of.
So-
If you need, yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I've just recorded a series of interviews in my studio to create a backstory for the album, and I was discussing this. So I DJ on Love Will Save the Day FM. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
It's like a London-based station. And one of the guys there, Dean, is from Leeds, Wakefield way. He said to me, you should set up an alias and get all your electronic stuff out there and just focus on that. And I went, nah, it's too much work. I've now realised that's like what you've just said. Basically, I'm just going to go, this electronic stuff, I'll get that out. It'll manifest itself over there because it's not worked under the Yarni, the new Yarni bracket. Like I say, this is the thing, isn't it? I've said it earlier. Being a solo artist, it's great because you don't have to consult with anybody else. You can just go, that didn't work.
Yeah.
This album's, I'm releasing it myself. It's the first one I've put out myself. So all of this is a trial. You know what I mean? I'm going to see.
I'm intrigued when you said it didn't work. What do you mean by it didn't work?
So I had 2 albums before it that did really well in terms of an album successful to me once it's released. Everything after that, I don't even listen to it. It's like, it's out of me then. It's for you guys, whoever.
Yeah.
But when you have to look and go, right, measure it, like I put it out there because I'm expecting X, Y, or Z.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd just keep it to myself. So like, in a narcissistic way, a musician releases something. They're looking for some form of a reaction, approval, love, attention. That's just naturally DJ. Same thing, isn't it? So when the thing I measured it on is I had 2 albums that did really well across different areas: streams, sales, media, reviews. And then the next album after that, it just didn't get any of that. And I just went, right, well, I've made a mistake.
Yeah.
Learn from it rather than go stubbornly carry on. You know what I mean? That's what.
So did you like it?
Yeah. It was a collaboration between me and my mate, Give Me Monaco. We both enjoyed it, but the process of the release with the label was terrible and just
That takes away from
I'm
it
a bit of two minds. Like you got to pay bills,
yes.
and if you've made it your career, there is like a kind of. It's like my video editing, right? If I just wanted to do whatever I wanted whenever I edit videos, I don't think I'd make any money. But then there's also
another
the art
star
side
wipe,
of it.
sir. No problem.
Yeah,
Love it.
Oh, there's been honestly, sometimes I'm
Just
sat
put a
like,
little star wipe in there, please, mate. Oh,
Yeah. It's so weird, man, because I feel like, I'm a bit more hippy dippy with art and like creation because I think I'm in the Rick Rubin camp.
Yeah.
Of like, it's you. You should put that out and whatever happens. And then, if it's successful, that's a byproduct of, what you put out. It's like sometimes with any creation, whether it be music or movies or whatever, sometimes you hit the right moment in culture where it's just you kind of put out something you love and culture is ready to receive it. Sometimes you're too far in the future where people can't even perceive it yet, but it might be a late kind of, people might listen to it later on in life. Sometimes you're just not ever there, but the whole point is that you should love it. You is your thing. But like, I totally understand that you have to, in this world, make money. It's like, if I just could have something that would generate me income passively and I could just live out my days creating just things that I like to put into the world or whatever popped off or whatever, it just was a symptom of because I put something out in the world that I love. I'm way more, I don't know, hippy dippy about it, I guess. I think if you loved it,
really absorbed that Rick Rubin book though. It's nice to see. It's nice to see.
I think I've always felt that way in me, but he's way more eloquent and
he's articulated it in a way.
He's articulated in a way where I'm like, there you go, you've got it, and everything. I think he's a bit of a Jesus figure for me. That man, I think he's a bit of a.
I find it fascinating because I think it's so crazy, right? And like, the singer Derondo. On that track, like Didn't I or whatever, that was just ignored, wasn't it, for years and years and years. In like 30 years, some kid could come along and be like, that's the album.
Yeah.
And they could become the most influential DJ, producer, whatever, influencer, tastemaker, whatever you want to call them at the time, be like, yo, you guys heard this Yarni album, and it's your album that you were like, oh, it was the one that sort of took me in a different direction, and they could take it, run with it, and it could become the biggest selling album of that year, which is essentially what you're saying, isn't it? Like there's
Sometimes
no
culture will just will be ready to receive. Sometimes it's just not.
Yeah.
It's sometimes you're ahead of culture.
From my perspective, it's a fucking cracking album, and you should be proud of it. And whether it's you now or whatever, you know, I'm excited to hear more of the new stuff as well. And it seems that you're more comfortable and like sort of happier in that realm as well. And the way that you've been collaborating on the album seems to have
think
brought you a lot.
Yeah. I just think, again, 10 years, you do a bit of reflecting, don't you, and go, what worked, what didn't. And
And that's wise as well, though, because it probably makes you feel good when an album's well received.
Yeah. And this is, and it's how do I say it? It's difficult when you want to. I see what you're saying in terms of like you do it for yourself. The process of creation for me, no matter what it is, like I've had to develop video editing skills. Instead of seeing it as a chore, now I'm like, right, I'm getting more creative with it, and I've developed these skills, so it becomes part of the process. So I still enjoyed writing the album. I'm proud of it, very proud of it. It's great. I think it visually looks good. We did a good package. It's just a case of it basically stunted my natural. I had a growth that were going upwards, and then that just kind of went. Yeah. And I was like, that was the frustration, because I was like, I made a mistake there. So basically, this album is looked at everything, listened to what fans have said. I'm at the minute assembling a band, because I've always knew that I needed to present Yarni as a band.
That's what I was going to ask. Is it going to go out on road, this album? Is it going to tour?
Well, obviously, I'm at the minute I've assembled a band, and we're just going to start rehearsing, and I'll do a few like test gigs, see what works.
Let us know. Can we come to one?
Yeah, of course, mate. Yeah, I'm hoping to do one. So the album comes out on the 3rd of October, so around release date.
Beautiful.
Sheffield, obviously. Franz Von's going to be jumping on. Nathaniel's going to be doing vocals.
Sick.
And then like a core band with a trumpet, etc., and guitar.
Love
so like,
that.
I'm looking, the band Maribou State. I don't know if you're a fan, but I look at them
Maribou
as
State.
like, they like blend pop, electronic, proper instruments. So I see that as like a blueprint, but the Yarni version is, rather than going fully jazzy, it's just like a blend of electronic and what I do, and just hoping. I'm feeling confident. I think getting a bit of radio play today from Craig Charles. The next single after that is Natural Light, the one with Franz.
Beautiful.
And I think I'm hoping that'll like pick up, and then that'll just lead on.
Yeah.
Continue with me album sales, and then see what happens. You know what I mean?
What's the hardest part of making music and doing it for, I guess, a living, really?
Promoting it.
Yeah.
I can make, you know what I mean? I'm not a natural marketer. I've had to do, you know what I mean? The last 18 months, I've just had to like invest in, I've bought a brand new iPhone because they're as good as cameras these days.
Yeah.
And invested in filming myself. I don't like sitting in front of camera and talking.
You've done very well, man.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, this is fine. I just mean like talking to a camera.
Yeah.
It's so unnatural. I can converse with you guys
I hate it.
passionately. It's
I
so
hate
weird.
it.
Yeah.
I did a promo video today. I hated it.
Yeah.
Look,
And I don't- it
fucking
don't-
I saw that
idiot.
promo video.
It also don't get any easier either, because I was thinking like everything else I've done in life, I do it more, and then I'm like, oh, I'm comfortable with it now, and I'm just it still takes me like 10 minutes to record a 20-second take.
Yeah.
And I've done a bit of research, like things to help.
A
Yeah.
hook.
It's just done. Yeah.
Gotta have a hook at the start.
Yeah,
You
this
gotta
is
mention
it.
what you.
Just-
If for the algorithm, you gotta mention.
If it feels
the words 7
inauthentic and it
times.
doesn't feel like genuine, like I just basically wanted to let Prince fans know that I'm doing a Prince DJ set at a festival, but I'm like, I need to say this somehow that sounds exciting and fun. I really don't want to do it, but I know that it's going to be beneficial. If like 3 people see this that are going to be there, then
Yes.
that's 3 extra people that are going to come to my DJ set.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is a ball ache, but yeah, you just have to sort of go,
Right.
right,
I hate promotion.
just do it. Let's just do it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think for you guys with this, like, you'll get a lot of moments, because obviously you'll have a lot of footage, so it's a lot easier to
Yeah.
extract natural human interaction as well.
Yeah.
Versus, like I say, that's why it's like sat camera facing. But I'm glad that, like, I appreciate the compliments, and I get quite a lot of people saying you're humble. You seem like my brand, Yarni. The brand is.
Yeah.
I'm a working class guy, just a normal guy, bloke next door. That's what I've tried to convey, and people are picking up on it.
Blow
Obviously,
next
I'm not
door with a
superstar.
banging record collection, a
Yeah.
talent for picking out jazzy moments, and like just
Yeah.
but yeah,
And
brilliant,
that's
man.
it. You're going to have a niche audience, but I'm not bothered because, like I say, I'm writing and releasing quite poppy tunes, but I'll let the singers front that because they're the people that look good and
Yeah.
younger and all of that. Like, I'll just be the person in the background just doing everything else.
I mean, it's Richard Russell, right? From
Yeah,
Excel. I
Excel,
mean, what's his thing? What's his project called? Where it's like,
Everything is recorded.
thank you, everything is recorded. It's almost that, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
collaborative. It's lots of things brought together. And he, he's not a young guy, but he knows music. He knows what things sound like and all that. It's and that you need that. Otherwise, these songs wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
And you by making these songs exist, you make people feel good and feel something. And like, yeah, I don't know. It's a good thing, man.
Yeah.
It's really good. What's so? I was going to say, what's in the future for Yarni? You've got the live band coming together. You got the live shows. Hopefully around October. Album release time October 3rd.
Yes.
Definite release date or sort of
Yeah.
hopefully that's
I'm
it.
going to bring you a test pressing for the album tonight, but I've had to send them back because they're terrible.
Oh, good
So
man.
I've got a bit of a delay on. The album's called Animoya, by the way.
Animoya.
Yeah.
What's that? Where's it come from?
So it means, it's a Greek word to feel nostalgic for a time where you didn't exist.
Love that.
So basically, I was watching a podcast and it was titled Animoya. And I was like, start listening to it. Like, I've always been that person where it's family members telling you a story and you just imagine yourself in 70s doing so-and-so or this or that. I always picture myself. So for me,
Yeah.
Animoya, my longing for existing in the 70s where I think all best music released, jazz,
Yeah.
funk, disco, da-da-da-da. So the album's loose concept was me feeling nostalgic for the 70s, drawing influences from those sounds,
Yeah.
but bringing it into 2025 by working with all these contemporary artists who've got like hip-hop, psychedelic gospel, neo-soul,
Yeah.
pop, all of these. So it's like
Beautiful.
bringing these kind of, I think it's got all these different singers, but it's me. Obviously the instrumentation and the way it's orchestrated, you
Yeah.
can tell it's me.
Sound, the sonic.
So palette.
There'll be kids listening to this that'll have Animoya for recording tracks into a VCR recorder on tape and
There you
then
go.
extracting the audio out of it.
There you go, mate.
But I tell you something, guys, it's a much better time that we live in now. Anything else you want to plug? Obviously, pre-save the album. Can we do that yet? Or is that
I don't really bother with that.
coming up?
I just sell records. Like,
buy the record?
yeah.
Yeah.
If you message me on whatever you want, I'll give you a 20% discount.
There you go.
What's your handles?
At It's Yarni
On everything.
on
How you
everything.
spelling Yarni?
Yarni.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing else to plug, mate. It's just a case of I always say DMs are open. Just message me. And if there's any, I don't know if you have your crowds like any up and coming musicians or anybody that's looking for a bit of advice, but I've got so much to share.
Yeah.
And I've worked with so many younger up and coming artists that my thing is no form of gatekeeping or no form. If someone says to me, do you know anyone who can help me with so and so?
Yeah.
I'm always there to help because I've never had that, especially in Sheffield. So I'm trying to book that a little bit. You know what I mean?
I love that, man. That's really nice. Like, I think we try and do the same thing
Yeah,
here.
of
Like,
course.
if somebody says to us they want to come on as a guest, we tend to say yes. Let's have a chat about stuff. And yeah, I mean, we have invited people on as well, obviously. But it's nice to get like a wide audience of people if we can.
Yeah.
So that's it. It's all about building it up, isn't it? And like listening to what people have got to say, trying to make something funny out of it. Yeah, I love it. Well, in our case,
Yeah.
yeah. In your case, making something beautiful and jazzy. But thank you so much for coming in, man. I've
Yeah,
really
thank
enjoyed
you.
chatting to you about music and stuff, and I'm really looking forward to the next album. Any other physical releases you've got out right now that people can buy, or is it all gone? Is it all just digital left?
No. If you go to my website, yarni.co, because someone owns .com and they won't sell it, mate.
There you go.
Bastards. There's a store section and there's also
It's woke nonsense. Sell
Yeah.
it to him.
or just go to Spotify and have just stream my music, just have a listen. I'm not. That's just a form of advertising. Spotify.
Chomp on the digital leftovers.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
there
just
you
get yourself a copy of the album from yarni.co. Beautiful. Love it.
Cheers.
Nice one, mate. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Circle back next week, I guess.
Circle Jack next week, mate. Actually, no, we'll circle back 2 days. Kendall calling, everybody. So
Oh yeah.
sign up to the Patreon. You'll see all of our Kendall calling episode on there. The Crosswise episode on its way, is it, for Patreons?
Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I totally forgot until you just said that. I was like, oh my
Lovely.
God, yes.
Okay, yeah. So Patreons, you're going to have 2 episodes coming your way. You're going to have Crosswise live and you're going to have Kendall calling live coming your way in the next couple of weeks.
Also, apply for free to be a free video editor for us, please. Please. We're a 3-man band now. It is growing, but my God. Or
The
my
quicker-
own personal reminder person.
The
It just
quicker that
screws
Andy can learn to be a video editor or send you like 100 texts to remind you to.
I'll
do
give him a
things.
crash course, man. Fucking just sitting down and whip him.
Love you, Andy. Hope you had a good holiday. See you later. Thanks. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.